wants to like let them know I'm the fucking boss.
Alpha.
That's what he wants them to know.
Alpha.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about dog language, and I've said it a bunch of times on the podcast. You talk about dog language, and you talk about just seeing body language and understanding what you start to understand more and more about what your dog does like and doesn't like.
Yeah.
He hates it. He's cool with saying hi to a couple people on the street, but then if we start getting a crowd, he's out. He hates it. He starts growling, barking too much, backing away from everybody, coming over to me. And just because his tail is going doesn't always mean that he's excited to see somebody.
Yeah.
It's actually just energy and just being in the moment. So when I was telling you, my buddy Matt's lab, Bo, they used to be best friends. I mean, they would play nonstop, hours. He's up in Lloyd Harbor.
Yeah.
Beautiful property.
Oh,
I mean,
that's beautiful.
Dude, big ass backyard. They would run for like 4 hours every Sunday. I used to bring him over there. And then one day he matured. Bo isn't fixed either. He's not fixed. He matured. I guess Bo was excited, humping him, whatever. And he just had enough. That was it. He kept grabbing him by the neck, throwing him.
Wow.
And then, you know, I grab him. First time I ever saw it, I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I look at Kenji and his tail is going. You watch on the security camera. His tail is going. He's amped. Like he just wants to get to this dog. And I never experienced anything like that before. Like I had another dog that hated other dogs, but I never thought I'd see some shit like that. Now he wasn't attacking him, because if he attacked him, he would have just went right for it, would have broke skin, he would have went right in. So my buddy's fiance at the time and now wife, she's like, do you want to just let them scrap it out and just see, like maybe they just got to work out whatever, like maybe it was like a little dog misunderstanding and they're going to be fine. I said, yeah, we could try one more time. I let him go like a missile. He went right for this dog's neck and tackled him. And I went, hey, I screamed and he stopped. You see him just stop mid-growl, mid on top of the dog. He stopped and I grabbed him. I was like, okay, that's it. We're not doing that again. Wow. So it's just, it's crazy when you own a dog and you start seeing these little ticks, these little cues. You see another dog down the street. You go, okay, we're good on that. And you start bringing him somewhere else and walking around. It's just not even worth the headache. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah. It's crazy owning it's crazy owning an alpha type breed like that. Yeah. Rotties, pit bulls, Connie Corsos, all these Akitas, all these different types of dogs, man. You have to have an understanding of what this animal is. And unfortunately, they get purchased or adopted because they're cute and fuzzy.
Yeah, when they're little.
Yeah, when they're little. Yeah. And they're not, and then people are just like, oh my God, look how sweet and this and that. And it grows up and it's dominating the household. It's dominating you on walks. And these people get very nervous and they go, I don't know what to do anymore. Or they're clueless and they still bring it to the dog park, or they bring it to all these different places, and the dog just mauls these dogs at the dog park, and it's not the dog's fault. It's in its fucking code of what it is and what it was bred for.
Doing what it's supposed to do.
Exactly. And then you have these people that are just like, well, he's good with dogs sometimes. Then it comes in and just goes crazy. So you just have to, it's like people too, though. You have to have an awareness. And I feel like that's a missing factor in a lot of human beings nowadays.
So they're not training these dogs, where the dog training the person, not the person training the dog. So it's like that dog's telling you what to do. And that's not the way it's supposed to be.
No.
That dog wants to be told what to do. Yeah. Like those guys, like, him or especially the Connie Corsos, those freaking things, like they want to be told what to do because their job is to protect you and they want to do that. But if you leave them and then they're on their own, they'd lose their shit.
Well, they just, and that's one of the things that I've had to deal with him is he'll growl at people if he doesn't want to say hi or if they're pushing their boundaries. And even though he's correct in telling people enough is enough, because a lot of people don't listen and they don't understand that sometimes the dog doesn't want to say hi. He's a living creature.
Sure.
He's not a golden retriever. Every golden retriever that runs up to you, they're just like, oh my God, love me. Yeah. That's not this dog. I know he looked cute and fuzzy, but you have to have an understanding that the dog may not want to say hi. So even though he'll growl at somebody, I still have to correct him because I'm the one that tells you who we're not cool with and cool with. I can't let him make those decisions for himself. That's the unfortunate side of it, because you don't want to correct the dog, but you have to. Yeah. Because if he starts now thinking, oh, he didn't correct me, like I can just make these decisions on my own, that what's to say someone comes in for a podcast and he just goes fucking nuts. Yeah, so you have to know, like, enough, stop it. And then he just goes, okay, cool. And he'll do that. He'll go walk over away and just lay down. Yeah, I've had some friends that come over and he bullies them. He knows. It's crazy. Yeah, he knows
better than people.
He knows what's up, man. He knows like the friends that are afraid of him, the friends that are assholes, the ones that he really. Yeah, you look at them and you're just like, yo, man, just don't mess with the dog. He knows, and he's gonna lean into that.
Senses your energy. Like, this fucker's bad.
Yeah, man. I have a buddy who he's like he's actually matured very, very nicely over the last, I'd say 3 years, 4 years. So I can't even call him the asshole of the group. But he's if he listens to this, he's gonna laugh and he's gonna probably text me and call me an asshole. But he was the dude that could be a little rough to be around sometimes because he doesn't watch his mouth and he flares off at people in different situations and whatnot.
Dog doesn't like him.
And I'll tell you what, man, the dog fucking hates him. And one day he was over my house, we were watching football, and Kenji just very calmly just got up on the couch where he was and stood next to him like this, staring at him, not growling, not doing anything. He just looked at him just like this, just staring right at him, just like that, just staring at him. And then my buddy looked over at him and he looked at me and I went, yo, Kenji, enough, get down. And Kenji just went like this. And just got off the couch and just walked away. I was like, that was him just saying, I could fuck you up
That's
right now if I
exactly what it was. He's like, listen, motherfucker.
If I wanted to.
Like, I don't like you, and you're gonna know it.
I was like, oh my God, relax.
Yeah.
It's not that serious. Go inside, please. But you picked up on his cues. You did.
Yeah.
We need that type of radar. I mean, I think we're a pretty good judge of character.
Yeah, pretty good. Listen, I get fooled a lot, but not for long.
Yeah.
You know, like in the beginning. And then it's like you start to learn somebody and then you're like, oh, this motherfucker's a piece of shit.
It's tough when that happens.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well,
Because
I try, like, you know, I'm sure you do the same thing. Like, I try to see the best in people. You know, so I give everybody the benefit of the doubt in the beginning. And then, like, within a very short time period, people show their true colors. It's like, all right, all of a sudden, this guy who was, you know, there for you, now all of a sudden he's showing who he really is, and he's just wrong person.
Yeah.
Wrong person. That's life. You know?
Yeah, it's a maturity thing. It's understanding. Well, some people don't ever understand it or get it, but it is a maturity thing in taking the experiences that you've had and putting them into the experiences that you're getting later in life. The unfortunate side of things, though, is that we do want to go into every interaction, mostly every interaction, with positive.
You try.
Thought process and it's not going to happen again, or I heard some things about this person. It's not. I have to make my own assessment and my own judgment on the actual situation, the human being that I'm dealing with. But unfortunately, like you said, those true colors. I mean, if somebody is a certain way, generally they're going to continue being that way.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. You know the old adage: leopard doesn't change his stripes or whatever it is, spots, whatever the hell a leopard has. You know, that's the way it is. It's like, if this guy's an asshole, he's gonna be an asshole forever.
Yeah,
forever.
And unfortunately, the fitness industry seems to breed them in mass.
Full of them. Like, it's like a magnet towards like all you guys.
It's all the ex partiers and druggies and all this shit like that. That just they go, oh, girls too. I mean, it's just everything. It's I'm gonna cleanse my life and just do this. And it's like, wow, you just bring your narcissism into this industry now.
Yeah, so that's the word right there. It's narcissism.
Yeah, that's
what the industry is full of. But they're narcissist sociopaths, so they don't even know they're crazy.
Well, yeah, that's the problem.
You don't know. Yeah, like, they genuinely think they're, you know, whatever, the best in the world at whatever they're doing, and then they turn and they put all their bad things about themselves and they put them on you.
Yeah.
So whatever their bad habits are, they're gonna tell them you're the one doing those things, or you know that, and then the next thing you know, you're like, I don't know, like, this guy's crazy. Yeah, he's fucking crazy.
Well, you start feeling like you lost your own mind.
Yeah, you know that's what they do to you.
Yeah, you feel like you're crazy. I had exes that are great at projection.
Oh yeah,
and just putting it right on you, and you sit there and you go, "Wait, am I the fucking problem?"
Like,
no, you go, no, it's not me. I'm not doing anything.
You're actually telling me exactly what you're doing.
Yeah,
you're just pretending it's me that's doing it, and it's not. It's not that at all.
Yeah,
yeah.
The landscape of personalities in life, in fitness, and just everything. I actually I'm investing in a lot of books as of late. I was never a big reader. This is actually the one that I'm ripping through right now. Jim Quick, Limitless. Super interesting. Yeah. It's about the abbreviated version that I can give is this guy Jim Quick. He's part of like the Tony Robbins group and this and that. Unbelievable human being. He actually helps a lot of celebrities and actors learn their lines by speed reading and actually retaining all of the information. And I wanted to not only learn I want to read.
Yeah.
I don't want to just look at the page, see the letters, and not take in any of that knowledge. I want to understand, how can I have a deeper understanding of the actual subject that I'm reading, and wanting to take in and become not an expert necessarily, but somebody of some knowledge base on it.
You pick up a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit from this one, that one, and then you have a little, base where you can combine all that information. And
Exactly.
put something out there.
Exactly. So he teaches you a lot of that in this book. I'm pretty early, as you can see the chapter marker.
Yeah.
I'm pretty early in it, but I mean, I took some notes to talk about just the brain and social distractions and all kinds of different things to talk about. But the cool thing about, I think, books and learning is you start to have a better understanding of the world around you, more so than if you just read all of these social sites and all of these different articles.
That's what it is now, though.
You would hope that it would be the opposite. You hope that with the inception of technology and the information spreading so far, and the ability to have the information at the snap of a finger, you would hope that would progress society in a positive way, but we're actually seeing that it's progressing society in a negative way. So degressing.
Yeah, it's degress society, and what's that's done is everybody wants it immediate.
Yeah.
Right. So the task of reading that book is too great when I can just go on Google, right, get an excerpt of that book and be like, okay, I know exactly what that's about. And nobody wants to sit there and read for a week, 2 weeks, of 300 pages, 400 pages. They want a paragraph, and then they want to be an expert on that subject. And that's not the case, but they think they are. So now they're going to go across all of social media, and they're going to preach. They're going to preach, I know everything about so-and-so subject. Meanwhile, you're a moron. You don't know anything. You know nothing, but you claim to know everything. You think you do, and this is a big problem, right?
Yeah.
Now, where everybody's an expert, right? Everybody's an expert on everything. And it's like, you're not an expert on anything. You know nothing. You just read excerpts of articles, and you think you know everything about it. You've taken no time to study anything, but you're the expert now. And everybody thinks they're an expert. You're not. You're not an expert at all. You just saw a video or you read a little clip, and now you think you know everything. It's like, take the time, slow down, actually spend time. It takes years to learn these things, years. And everybody wants to learn it in 30 seconds. I want to be, expert in this, so I'll take a weekend certification, a weekend course or a 3-hour course, whatever it is. And all of a sudden, I can do this, I can do that. It's like, in the Matrix when he downloads, that famous thing, now I know judo or whatever he said.
Yeah.
It's like, do you think that's what's going to happen? It's like, that's not what happens at all. You got to take time, a lot of time. I think it's 10,000 hours to be a master of something. If you break that down, that's a long time. If you do 2 hours a week, it's a lot of weeks. It's a lot of weeks. So everybody thinks they're an expert. Meanwhile, they're a moron. They know nothing.
Meanwhile, they're a moron.
Yeah.
Period.
Period.
That couldn't be more true, man. It really couldn't be more true.
Yeah.
It's
sad though.
It is sad.
Yeah.
It's sad because we're losing the battle in our attention, our ability to have our own viewpoints and opinions on different things. And it's just, it's so widespread. It's just everything. It's not just in the fitness industry. It's not just on politics. It's not just on the world or how you should raise your family. It's like we're losing the battle to these 15-second reels, these 10-second reels, these now 5-second reels, because it tricks you into watching it twice. So you get 2 views, everything.
Loop it around, and it's like,
done, man.
I got more views.
I'm done with it.
Yeah.
I've been having this conversation with a lot of people. It started by listening to the audio book by Cam Newport of Digital Minimalism. Mm-hmm. It opened my eyes to, I need to be more present in life. And I don't, we all need to be. And it's an active chore and task of doing that and not getting caught up in past and future type things. Mm-hmm. And also not allowing life to just whisk by us because we're staring at a glass screen.
Yeah.
Where if it was off, I've said this a couple of times, if the screen was off, we would look really fucking stupid just staring at a blank slate, holding it like this all day. I don't want to be Andre Ferguson has said it so many times on the pod too. I don't want to be a slave to the phone. I do not want to be a slave to my phone.
We all are to a certain degree.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, because it makes you a slave. So now you have this thing in your pocket where everybody can reach you at any time, and I'm old enough to remember when that didn't exist. I'm old enough to remember when I went home from work, nobody could reach me anymore, and I don't realize how great that is until now. At 10 o'clock at night, my phone goes off and, can I schedule an appointment with you? No, it's 10 o'clock at night. This is my family time. And really, I'm going to sleep at 10 o'clock because I'm
Yeah.
waking up early. But, you know, why you're calling me on my cell phone at night, I don't understand. Like, you shouldn't be. You have no right to be calling me at that time. I don't care who you are. You know, that's it. It's cut off. You know, okay. And then let's say 15 years ago now, it didn't happen. Like, people had cell phones, but it was like really still minimal, you know? So you went home, let's say 5, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night. You went home, you made dinner with your family, and you sat down with your family and you talked and whatever, maybe you watched some TV or anything, but there was no distraction. There was no, somebody's calling or somebody's texting me. Like, why do I have to answer somebody's text right away? Why? Like, I don't have to, you know, but we've gotten into this habit of, I gotta respond. I gotta respond. No, you gotta pay attention to your family, to your wife, to your kids, and like, put the damn phone down. And I'm just as much at fault as anybody else.
We're all guilty.
But I can tell you this, and this is one of those feelings that you'll only know it when it happens to you. But I'll be sitting at dinner and I'll pick up my phone and I'm, you know, looking at Instagram or you know, responding to text, and my son comes over and he wants to talk, and I'm like, wait 1 second, let me answer this. And I'm like, fuck,
Yeah.
what am I doing? You know, this kid, how long do I have before my son doesn't want to talk to me anymore? You know, because it's going to happen eventually. Like, right now he loves me. You know, it's fantastic. Like, we'll wrestle on the couch and this and that, and then
You could be wrestling seriously when he doesn't want to talk to you.
Yeah. Well, soon he's going to kick my ass, and I hope so. I really hope.
That's why you got to keep those lessons up with animal.
Exactly. Yeah, but really, it's stupid. Like, what am I doing on the phone? What am I looking at? Worthless stuff.
What is so important that it's taking me out of my current environment?
Out of his time. Like, this is it. Like, he's 7 years old. Like, this is perfect. You know, me and him could interact, and we have a great time together all the time. We have a great time. Why am I looking at my phone? It's a disease, man. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. And when I catch myself, I feel so guilty, but I keep on doing it because it's just so ingrained in like who we are as a person now. It's like, oh, I feel the phone vibrating in my pocket. I hear it going off, and it's a response. I gotta react. No, man.
Feel the ghost vibrations, man.
Oh yeah.
The phone doesn't even vibrate, and
sometimes my leg vibrates.
Yes.
What is that about?
Yeah.
Why is my leg vibrating?
I think it's a psychological. It's a psychological thing where you almost want that dopamine hit of a message or something on the other line of that thing to answer or to interact with.
Yeah.
It's very scary. The more I'm diving into this topic, and it's a very weird type of a thing for somebody that produces video content to want to do now. It's like
opposite side of the spectrum. You know, where do we balance this?
Where do we balance it? And I think that I actually know. I've said it on a lot of podcasts. I've said that I want to focus on being a producer and not a consumer of content, because there's a difference.
Sure.
You can produce content for your business. You can produce content for your podcast. You can do all of these different things, put it out there, and interact with people and other accounts and whatnot. Very select times that you're going to allow yourself to.
Yeah.
You know, I turned notifications off on my Instagram. It's just too.
Oh, it's over.
I was getting over 100 something notifications a day on my Instagram. Couple that with emails, couple that with calls with brands, couple that with text messages, and I don't stop. Yeah. And then the constant access that you allow people to have to you at all hours of the day and night.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, I'd get DMs all night. All night, because now people are off of work, they're out of their job, so now they remember whatever they wanted to do during the day.
But that's, in my opinion, that's beyond rude.
Not only is it beyond, but it's not considered rude in our society.
No, it's not.
It is considered rude prior to these little anxiety boxes that we have in our pocket 24/7. That originally they were created to bridge. Let's just talk about not even a cell phone. Let's just talk about the iPhone specifically, because that's the most monumental one. It was created to bridge an iPod and a phone together, so you didn't have to carry two separate devices. And somewhere along that line, the business model switched to, why don't we get advertisers to pay us for the apps, for the integration into the actual platform, because we have everyone's attention now. Yeah. That was the penny press. That was all these different newspapers at the time. The penny press had everybody buying it because it was only a penny.
Right.
And they said, they're not our customer.
No.
We'll give them mass media spanning a lot of different topics. Our customers are the advertisers that we're going to charge up the fucking ass to advertise because we have everyone's attention locked on. And that's this. It's the battle for our attention. And as we allow these videos to get smaller and smaller, as a video creator, I've always hated it. I've always hated a 15-second reel. It doesn't make it easier to edit.
No.
It actually makes it harder because there's so much to condense. Like when I do a rain recap at an event, or Kai Green when I was doing the event, Kai Green's full day
How do you get
in
that?
30 seconds. You're sitting there, you're like, oh my God, how the fuck do I fit all of this in? What am I going to do?
Yeah.
And creatively, which is why you get into creating videos or opening a business to help people lose weight or to bring fitness to everybody. But now you get stuck on the content side of things. How can I stay relevant? How can I do this? How can I do that? It becomes a chore. It takes the fun straight out of it.
Yeah.
And the creativity goes. You see a bunch of other people. Oh, this guy's viral for doing this effect online. Oh, maybe I'll do that now. Maybe I'll change my style up and do that. I can't tell you how we are so miserable as a society. And I know a lot of us feel it. We are so miserable, beaten down, depressed, tired, just constantly fatigued of just having to keep up with all of these things that I just said I had a breaking point a couple weeks ago after listening to the audiobook, and I just said I can't do this anymore. When I have a family one day, I can't be that dad that puts the Cocomelon in front of their fucking kid's face and just sits there and doesn't interact with anybody. There's a device called the PlayStation Portal. I like PlayStation. I play it every now and then.
I don't play video games, but my son has some of them.
Truthfully, since I've been doing all this, I haven't played any video games.
Yeah.
Because it's just another stimulus. And it's just more of, I used to think of it as downtime. It's not downtime. Your brain's still going. It's just, and that's why you're tired as well, because it's just more shit just blasting in your face. But anyway, there is a device called the PlayStation Portal. It basically takes the actual PlayStation, and as long as you're on a wireless network, so your home network or a hotspot outside, you can connect to the PlayStation and you can play the games on this portable handheld screen.
Whatever screen it is.
It's just, it's a nice screen. It's an OLED screen. Listen, they made it very nice. It's $199, so it's very appealing for a lot of people, but it can't play games besides what's on your PlayStation already. The amount of dads that I've seen that go, this is the ultimate dad thing. And I see these guys with their kids sitting there playing, and they're just sitting there playing their PlayStation, and then there's a random video for the kid on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, wow, we're just all screened up.
Yeah.
There's no spending time with your family. There's no actual interaction anymore. Yeah. There's nothing. And then you guys wonder why you have no more sex in the households. You wonder why your wife or your family, if it's your husband, if it's your wife, you wonder why your husband resents you. You wonder why your wife resents you. You wonder why your kids are assholes at school because there's no structure anymore. Yeah. So you're just putting screens in front of everybody. No one's paying attention to anybody, and we've lost all connection while being connected. It's a very scary thought.
Yeah, that's not, it's the opposite of what it should be.
Yeah.
The internet was supposed to bring us all together. Well, it's actually pulled us all apart.
Pulled us all apart, made us all enemies.
We're all enemies now.
Yeah.
Whereas we all used to be somewhere in, we can find common ground. Now we find no common ground. You're either X or you're Y. That's it. There is nothing in between. And it's like, well, that's a scary thought. Because now, like, everybody's literally just at each other's throat, ready to get at you. Where if you actually talk to the person, you'll find out you have a lot more in common than you think. You probably have one or two things that you disagree upon, and that's cool. That's great. That's what makes us us. Like, I don't agree with everything that you agree with, and that's fantastic.
That's a great thing.
The fact that we can't sit down and talk about it is horrible.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that happened. It just happened.
I think it happened a lot with just mainstream news sources, mainstream articles, mainstream media as a whole. This is on multiple avenues. It's not just political. I have to always say that. People think that when you say mainstream media, it's just political. No, I think I believe that there's Apple versus Android. Like there's all these fucking battles for no reason.
That's an insane one. If you so I'm not an Apple guy. I've had Apple phones. I just don't like them. Whatever. And then I'll take out my cell phone, take somebody's down, like, you don't have an iPhone? I'm like, no, I don't have an iPhone. Why? I just don't like it. Like, whatever. I've had this thing for 10 years. It works well for me. iPhone's great. Okay, that's fine.
Okay, enjoy it, bro.
Okay, cool.
It's not that serious.
What do you care? What do you care?
So that's my work phone. That's my main phone. And I bought a second phone about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. And I bought the Galaxy S24 Plus, the 24 Ultra. Fantastic phone. It's amazing. Truthfully, it's better than the iPhone.
I don't know. Again, technology.
That's okay.
I got some Galaxy something.
That's okay.
It is probably 22 or 23.
Truthfully, it is a phenomenal phone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome. It's got the S Pen that comes out, this little stylus.
All right, I've seen that.
I've already used it multiple times where an idea comes to my mind and I'm able to just write it down and I'm done. I don't have to worry about unlocking the phone, getting into my app, getting my flow, and this. Just write it down, and then it can take that text and translate it into actual my writing and translate it to text.
That's interesting.
So what I did was, that is my personal number. My mom, cousins, and 3 of my closest friends are the only ones that have that number so far.
Nobody
And that's pretty much how I'm keeping it.
Honestly, I like that.
And there's no social media on it. It is my personal phone.
Now, will you take your work phone and put it away?
Yes. Every night.
See, that's great.
Every night I've been turning it off.
That's great.
6, 7 o'clock, roughly.
Yeah.
That's off. When I go to jujitsu at 6:30 at night, most nights,
turn it off.
That phone is off, and I take the Samsung with me.
That's beautiful.
And then I'm on the Samsung for the night. If I'm not reading, I'm going through articles on it, and I'm just reading, and I'm able to focus without the barrage of notifications. Because even when you put Do Not Disturb on, the issue is you can see the notification there. And if I get a work email or I get something, now I'm thinking about it, and now I need to address it. So if I don't know that it's there, and I have no idea that I've controlled my time.
Yeah.
And by deleting the social media apps or not even installing them on it, I've been able to make sure that my time is my time, and I'm not doom scrolling. I'm not doing anything like that.
I do it all the time.
It's tough, man.
Like, especially about my business, I'm so OCD that every time my phone rings or blings, I'm worried that it's something about my business, and I'm like, I gotta look. I gotta look. Where the truth is, it's not important. Whatever it is, it can be resolved tomorrow.
And out of how many years have you had the gym?
We're going on 10 now.
10 years. That's an amazing feat, number one.
That's good. But the crazy part is, in all seriousness, I don't think in 10 years, with the exception of twice, okay? Twice. And then these are great times. One time, one of my trainers walked out, and he left the garage door open.
Great.
In the gym, right? So the garage door is a freaking 12 by 12 door, okay?
You get everything
All
out.
the lights are on. So I know the police in the area very well. They call my cell phone. It was like 1:32 in the morning. And they're screaming. I'm like, what? No, it's the police. I'm like, oh, okay, what? Like, your garage door is open. We're inside right now. Everything looks good, but we don't know what's going on. Can you come down here? Okay, I'll be down there. Okay, that's the first time. Nothing was wrong.
Yeah.
You know, they're just inside. They want to make sure that they're okay. I go inside. I close the garage.
I feel like generally anybody that knows you in the area is also not going to fuck with you.
You'd be surprised, you know.
Right.
But and then one other time, same time during COVID, this is nuts, but one of these construction trucks, you know, they pull the trailers behind them.
Yeah.
So the trailer detached from it was like a dump truck or something. He was pulling it, and it detached like a block away from the gym. And of course, it wound up going right through the front of my gym.
Sick.
Like, yeah, how does that happen? During COVID too, you know?
Couldn't have went, what is that, the coat store next to you?
There was literally 2 BMWs parked on either side of the trailer. It missed both BMWs and went right through the front of my store. I'm like, God, this is great.
Yeah, small business.
But 2 times, small business, of course. I'm already down, like, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Just kicked me right in the fucking nuts.
Right in the nuts.
Great, thank you so much. That's awesome.
But it was pretty remarkable. But that's 2 times in 10 years where I really like, okay, this is like really important. Let's get on the phone. Besides that, who cares?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Who cares?
That's what I'm saying. And anything can be resolved later on.
Yeah, it's all
any clients that want to use me for video that hit me up after hours, I would be so hell bent on I need to answer them right this second.
Yep.
I don't.
You don't.
I don't have to answer them right this second. Unless the campaign is tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
I don't have to answer them right this second.
And you know what? If that's the case, like,
Yeah, if that's the case, really?
Yeah.
I've had people hit me up last minute
course,
for shit like that.
we all do.
And truthfully, every single time I've been hit up last minute for that, it's never worth it.
Never worth it.
It's never worth it. The budget's gonna be $40,
Yeah.
and they're gonna offer me free hot dogs for a year. I'm like, I don't eat that, so we're good.
I don't need that.
We're good.
Especially now. Like that is the one good thing about been doing this, for a while now. It's like, yeah, man, I could say no.
Yeah.
Whereas when I first started, I had to say yes to everything.
Oh, I said yes to everything.
You have to?
Everything except for weddings. I just didn't shoot weddings.
That's
couldn't do it.
Yeah,
a
there's
lot of
certain
video
things.
guys get sucked right in. I said no shot. Am I getting sucked into
It's
this?
just not your thing.
Nah.
Yeah, like you know how many people I trained that I absolutely despise? Like not anymore, but in the beginning. I remember I had this guy, like super wealthy guy, and he would come in and we'd start a workout, and he wouldn't talk to me because he's like, I gotta be here and be serious. Like, all right, like, that's cool.
All right,
Like,
all right, bro.
he's like, he's like, we gotta push harder. Like, this is not enjoyable for me at all. Like, you're a scumbag, because you have money doesn't mean like you could push me around and tell me what to do. At that time, though, I'm like, oh, man, I need to fill these slots. It's like, it's $125 an hour. Like, this guy's paying me. I'm gonna suck it up. And then one day, I'm just like, dude, we're done.
Yeah, I can't be around you anymore.
Yeah, that's what I said to him. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I just don't like you. He's like, so you're firing me? I'm like, yeah, I'm firing you.
Yeah, I am.
He's like, but he's like, I pay you a lot of money. I don't care.
That's cool.
I'll find somebody else.
Exactly.
Maybe they'll pay me a little less, but I'll be happy.
Yeah.
You know, you're a douchebag.
It's crazy how the universe balances shit like that out.
100%.
Yeah, you lose a client,
Absolutely.
you gain two.
Yeah.
You know, you tell a client, no, it's not enough. You know, we used to work on this rate. Now we have to do this. They say no, and you go, okay, it is what it is. Then you get another client that's willing to pay that, and no headaches. It's so crazy how shit. You just have to appreciate sometimes, not necessarily the sense of humor that the universe has, but the sense of humor that the universe has.
It definitely has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
But it also guides you on the right path, you know, and it's giving you lessons to learn as you go about it. The question is, can you listen? You know, because if you're not listening to what it's telling you, because it's constantly telling you, like, this is not good for you, man. Don't do this. And it's not telling you that because this guy's an asshole and being an asshole to you. Are you listening to the universe? You're just going to get rid of him. We'll find something better. We'll move on. We'll do it. And sometimes you have to go the hard way, you know, because that is the only way. It's go the hard way. Learn, like suffer. You know, suffering's good. It's nobody's ever accomplished anything great because life was wonderful. Like life has to suck. It really has to suck sometimes. And that's when you can create. You know, until life sucks, you can't create. And really that's how I got started with the gym. You know, was my life sucked. And it really didn't suck, but it sucked for me. You know, I was at this point in my life where I was like, I hate what I do every day.
What were you doing prior?
So I was doing construction development. I worked for a real estate development company. We were doing high rises in Williamsburg and Hell's Kitchen and stuff like that. So I did that for like 7 years and it was good for a while. And then it got bad. 2008, when the market started going real bad, all of a sudden my company fired everybody that was above me, moved me up into their position, and of course kept my salary the same.
Of course. Why would they upgrade your salary?
So you just fired everybody that was in, you know, I was responding to. Now I got to take their job, do their job, and do my job, and then tell everybody below me what to do.
Corporate 101.
Corporate 101, exactly. And that's when, so it was Christmas that year, and it was probably still around like Thanksgiving time, and I made up my mind, like, I'm not going into New Year at this job. And so the Christmas party for the company came and I didn't show up. And my boss calls me up and he's like, you know, you weren't at the Christmas party? I'm like, I know. He's like, so what's going on? I quit. He's like, what do you mean you quit? I'm like, I just don't like it here. And he's like, I'll give you $25,000 more.
That's interesting how they throw that at,
just like that.
Just like that. They just throw it right at you, ready to go.
Ready to go. And I go, you don't get it. I don't like it here. There's not enough money in the world to keep me here. He's like, nah, that's silly. That can't be. You're in a great position. You're doing well. You know, you got a great salary, great future here. I quit. You don't get it. I don't. That's right. You don't get it. I'm out. Like, here's my 2 weeks. I'm out. Christmas is coming. Yeah, it is. I'm out. I'm not going to be here for Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, and that was it. I walked out. You know, and that led me to starting the gym and doing these things because for so long, this is what I wanted to do. You know, since I'm 18, 19, I'm like, I need to own a gym. This is what I love to do. I want to own a gym. But it was impossible. And it wasn't possible until CrossFit came around. Because CrossFit changed everybody's view of what a gym is. Now, I don't like CrossFit. Not at all, okay? To be honest with you, I don't think it's terrible. But whatever. That's you know, but what did it do? It introduced barbells to normal people, right? And it created this small community of people where this is acceptable to go to the gym, a smaller gym, and be a community. That I could do. I couldn't be an LA Fitness, or I couldn't be a, you know, Lifetime or Equinox where you need, you know, millions and millions of dollars to open this. But I can find a warehouse and I can gather up enough money to start this community. Now, it's not going to be CrossFit because it's just not what I like to do. I was bodybuilding at the time, and I'm like, okay, this is what I like to do. But this idea of a smaller gym is now feasible. You know, and really at the time, what I was looking at was Joe DeFranco's model of how he was running. He literally started in a closet, you know, and he's running these athletes. in a studio no bigger than this, and they're becoming some of the best athletes in the world. I said, man, if this guy can do this, I can do this. And that's like, all right, but how did I mentally get there? I got there because my life sucked. And if my life didn't suck, I never would have got there. I would have kept on staying at that job because I got plenty of friends that are making good money, miserable. They're not miserable enough though. They're just miserable enough that 300K a year is good enough, that I'll sit in this cubicle till the end of time. And my life is going to be terrible, but it pays for my house, my wife, my kids' stuff and everything. And you know what? Now I've got 15 years and I got 20 years. And what am I going to do now? Because now I'm stuck. That's horrible.
Isn't that sad?
It's disgusting.
It's like that is like an imaginary shackle that keeps you at that desk.
A slave. You are absolutely a slave. Yeah.
And I said that with the guys yesterday. Mm-hmm. So and I want you to continue on giving me the insight onto the opening of the gym because it's awesome. But I do have to interject because I did say this yesterday. Yesterday I was an extra on an indie set, a movie at Governor's in Levittown. Sure. They were filming like a little indie, my mom's friend. And while we were waiting to film, the guy came out that works at Governor's and he's like, hey, if anybody wants to do a podcast, he's like, I'm going live at 11 a.m. to do my hour and a half podcast. Yeah. Sitting there, and I'm intentionally being okay with being bored again. So I left this phone here. Right. I took my Samsung with me, and I intentionally made sure I didn't take it out at all while I was sitting there waiting. I was looking around, just chilling, listening to conversations, and just being present. And I said, sure, I'll come through. So we wound up doing an hour and a half impromptu podcast, just hanging out, chopping it up. I was talking a lot about what I started talking about with the digital minimalism and stuff like that. It's tough because I know it's a comedy podcast, so I know a lot of the listeners were like probably checking out. They were like, what the fuck is this kid 32-year-old kid talking about all this stuff? All right, bro, we'll make you laugh. All right, here's a fart joke. Yeah. So, but one of the things that we had spoken about was when I was selling home theater systems in the Hamptons, I would be in these $30, $40, $50 million homes. Unbelievable feats of architecture. Unbelievable that people could afford these homes. You're flabbergasted by how enormous and the amount of amenities that these homes have.
I can't dream that big. It's in my wildest dreams. I never dreamed like
I'm telling you, man, like we're putting IMAX theaters in people's homes.
Crazy.
A fucking IMAX theater in their basement where you have to have set dimensions for how wide and large the screens actually is able to accommodate. Unreal. They're like bunkers underneath the house of movie theaters.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yep.
So I would look around and I'd see the wife, the kids, the maid, the chef, the lawn guy. And I'd go to my boss at the time. I'd say,
"Where's Dad?
Where's the husband?"
Yeah.
Oh, generally he's not out here. Yeah. Why? Stays in the city and he works on all the finances and he's a hedge fund guy, this and that, blah blah blah. And I said, really? And we talked about that yesterday. Yeah. I said, on your deathbed, are you going to care more about making another $1 billion or that you missed your kid's entire childhood? That although you gave them every single financial freedom and opportunity in the world, you weren't there their entire childhood. And because of that, your wife left, or she cheated, or
she definitely cheated.
That's what I'm saying. Like you lost the house, and all because you told that boss that told you, "I'll get you a Learjet if you just stay, and you're on call 24/7 whenever I need you to do this and that." And basically, that is a form of selling your soul.
Oh no, you sold your soul.
Yeah, that's really what it is, and it's scary when you think about it like that.
I can't understand it. So my father was. He was a factory worker. He never graduated high school. Just your average Joe. The family came to this country and they're trying to, make enough money to survive. Now he worked, 14, 15 hours a day, not because he wanted a Learjet though, because he needed to put food on the table. Yeah. And that's the only way he had a way of doing it is okay. Unfortunately, I'm leaving the house at 4:30 in the morning and I'll be home at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. Now, as kids, we never saw him. Very rarely. Like my memories of seeing my father when I was a kid are few and far between, of no fault of his own, except he's trying to provide for his family. But what happened? What happened was probably what happens to everybody else. My parents broke up, family went to shit, everybody went all over this place. And then everything what he did was for naught, really. Yeah, like, okay, we survived, but could we have survived if you were home 2-3 hours earlier? Yeah, we would have been just fine. We would have made it, but when does it become worth it and not worth it anymore? And that's a fine balancing act. But that structured me as a human being where I said, okay, I'm going to work my balls off and I'm going to do everything right. I'm going to go as hard as I can. But when my son has a jiu-jitsu tournament or he has a game, I'm going to be there, and I will, and I am. And listen, sometimes I'm not, of course, because I have to work. But as he gets a little older and I get a little older, I will be very mindful of how I am in his life. And I will be there, and if I make a few dollars less, who cares? Who cares? Because when my dad died, there was no money. There was no nothing. It was just, I wish I had my dad back, because I would give anything to have him here, seeing my son, playing with my son. Instead, he's gone. He worked his life away for nothing, for literally nothing. I wish he was at my soccer games, my football games, and at wherever, but where was he? He was at work, turning a wrench, trying to make enough money. And I get it. He had to do it. And I'm grateful that he did. But I would have taken a little less of anything.
A little less to get a little more.
Yeah.
Real
time. Because the only time I got to spend with my father was after he retired, and there was a couple years between when he retired and when he died. And then it's like, okay, so I got him for a couple, and then the truth is I finally met him. I never knew the man.
Like you knew him now.
I had no idea.
You were just getting to know him.
Yeah, I had no clue who my father was. I'd seen him. I know he's the guy that goes to work and he works hard. And when he comes home, he's angry. And he's like, why are you kids doing this and that? And it's like, now I understand the anger. I get it. When I was a kid, I didn't understand that anger. It was like, why is dad always angry? Why does he come home and he's throwing shit? And, like things are crazy when he comes home. Well, he's frustrated. He's frustrated.
Because his life is Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
It's the same shit every single day.
Yeah. Wakes up in the middle of the night, goes to work, comes back, and it's already dark out and can't do anything. And, one day, like he works Saturdays and Sundays. He's a mechanic in the factory doing whatever. His day off would be like a Thursday. We're all in school. It's like we don't even see him. So maybe he would pick us up after school or something like that. But it's like, dude, take a Sunday off. It would be worth it. Spend time with your family, and it's like, so I try to take that in my own life and be like, and that's something that I do now is, and I didn't do this 5 years ago, but I do now is every Sunday I'm with my son all day long, and it's my one day where I get a chance to actually know him. And that is one debt that I actually do owe to COVID and the insanity that they did to us during COVID. Was it made me stay home, introduced me to my son for the first time, because he was born 4 years earlier, and I was working my balls off,
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden I'm home for 8 months straight, and I get to meet my boy, and then I'm like, I'm never going back.
Yeah.
Never. Like, I'm gonna work hard.
Isn't that crazy? It's addicting.
Yeah.
When you're actually in it and you're actually present, it's addicting, man. That's why I've been talking to my cousin's husband, Matt, who's basically my cousin too. He married into the family, and we talk often. And he's been big on slowing down, as I have too, even with my business. Not slowing down, taking less projects, but selectively choosing what I want to do now. I don't want to
be selective.
I don't really want to do the expos anymore. I'll do it for rain here and there if they want me to, but I can't follow the athletes around anymore. I can't be the slave of just like running around and when I go on those trips, man, it takes me like a week to just when I get back to actually get back to a baseline, because it's just
calm down and like
it's just high energy, following the fans, the edits, the shoots. Is it recording? Is everything in focus? Did you do this? Did you do that? And I see that this space of videography, photography, it's a low barrier to entry. A lot of guys can just grab a camera and they call themselves a pro.
There's no barrier to entry.
That's okay.
Whoever you are.
Yeah, that's okay. Dude, I started that way too. That's why when people talk about, oh, this kid just picked the camera up and he thinks he's gonna, I'd have friends when I was shooting at the gyms, mostly at Bev's and stuff. Oh, this kid picked a camera up and he thinks he's gonna come after you and this and that. I go, I don't care. Because I started that way too. So it's, he is going to do what he's going to do. And he's going to try to get as many clients as he can and charge a low premium for his services. And then he'll eventually charge what he's somewhat worth, maybe, if he gets smart enough, quick enough. And if he doesn't, then he's just going to continually getting pissed on by client to client because people that don't want to pay you. And it is what it is. Like, he'll learn. But I've learned that I want to work with brands. I want to work with companies. I want to work with, honestly, I've been doing a lot of construction companies lately. It's easy money. Truthfully, it's easy money. I get to go to a site, I shoot, I charge what I charge, and I dip. and I edit it and they love it and we're done. Like it's great that I get to see Germany. It's great that I get to see Dubai. It's great that I get to see all of these different places, but it is fucking slave work. If you take the amount of work that it takes on a Thursday to Sunday or a Monday to Monday type of a trip versus going to one job site and generally making not far off of what you'd make of a whole weekend with a big corporation because they understand the value in the content. You're just like, why am I overworking myself to just work with that versus when I can just work with this and just have.
Oh, that's where you start to balance life out. So in the beginning, you kind of have to take those jobs. Yeah. You know, just like I got to train who I got to train in the beginning. And then you get to a point where your value is so much higher, so much greater. Other people begin to see it. And, you know, these guys, whoever, you know, whatever company, and there's a million of them that are going to try to take advantage of you, you say no.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the no's turn into 100 other people chasing after you. And unless you say no, though, you're never going to have those other people chasing after you because they won't value you.
Yeah, I got rid of a lot of clients.
Really?
The last year, I got rid of a lot of clients, a lot of people that I was working with. I couldn't do it anymore. People that were disrespecting me, people that were just, late payments and then saying that I was ruining the relationship because the payment was a year late. And I'm like, dude, I have to add late fees, man. You want to ruin this relationship? Me? Dude, the dog needs medicine every month. I got to pay for shit. Like this is life. You know, when you work with brands, you make sure you get paid, right? So why am I any different? Yeah. So they
don't value you. That's the difference.
Exactly. And life,
he'll stay.
Exactly. And life has taught me a lot of lessons, obviously with the digital stuff, with the technology, with slowing down, with being present, with enjoying my time with the dog, switching my modalities and the things that I enjoy, not really going into bodybuilding anymore and going into more hybrid fitness, not CrossFit, but hybrid type fitness. Yeah.
The whole CrossFit thing is whatever, you know.
No, I know.
Again,
but not CrossFit. And it's, but being in that type of a community environment, and then jujitsu, which has been a lifesaver in a lot of different ways. It has challenged me more than a lot of other things, not only coming back from injuries from it and just dealing with a lot of different techniques and you think you know a lot and you have no fucking clue.
That is the one thing about jiu-jitsu that is so humbling and so great. And, I remember, so I started at Royal Jiu-Jitsu when I first started training. And I was hanging out with a bunch of guys, and there was this one guy, Jonathan Massa, who was, I think it was like 3-time, 4-time All-American in Hofstra when it was going to Olympic trials and stuff. So he's like, come down and, train with me.
Wrestlers are wild.
He's wicked. So,
wicked.
I roll like 1 or 2 classes and I'm beat up, I'm bleeding from my toes. I'm bleeding. You know how it is. It's like you go in there and you're
Isn't that the craziest sensation? I can't explain that unless somebody actually goes through it. My toes were so sore. And I was like, why are my toes so sore?
Killing me. Like, what is that about?
Yeah. But, squatting 350, no problem. But it was my toes.
What is killing me right now? These guys are like, most of them are smaller than me, definitely not as strong, but their technique is crazy. And I'm rolling in a class of advanced guys because it's the only time I could go. And it's like, all right, this is fun, but I'm getting my ass kicked. So Jonathan pulls me over and he's like, all right, go with me. Within 10 seconds, this guy has me in a fireman's carry over his head, spins me around, dumps me on my back. And when I tell you, I have no clue where I am and no clue. And I'm just laying there like, wow, what just happened? Like,
what dimension did you just send me to?
This guy, I'm 220 pounds, and this 160-pound guy just picked me up over his head, spun me in the air like a helicopter, and dropped me. And he's like, okay, get up. Now I'll teach you how to do some stuff. And I'm like, oh, man, like, this is so humbling, but it's a great humbling. Like, it really is. And
it's another world, man. And it's,
but you think as like, and this is like that, like you got that stupid Bradley Martin. But I'm 260, bro. I'm 260. Like, bro, who cares?
Yeah.
You're 260. This 150-pound guy is going to whoop you.
That will fucking fold you up like a chair and toss you to the side.
Like that in the beginning when it's like, I deadlift 700, man. What do you, how's this little guy going to beat me? Oh, he's going to beat you.
Yeah.
He's going to beat you bad. But you got to go through that experience of getting flipped and turned and knocked on your head, and then all of a sudden you realize, like, wow, okay, this is real.
Yeah. So I went into it very open-minded and neutral. I knew that I was gonna get my ass kicked. I was just like, you know what? I know that these dudes are just different.
Yeah.
You know, and you think about when we're in the fitness industry, especially, you think about bodybuilder strength, and you think about bodybuilder. We think bodybuilders are tough.
Oh, they're not.
Oh man, hitting the leg press and doing this and that. Dude, these dudes will snap a finger and pop it back in and go, all right, let's go again. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Your finger's hanging off by a thread. Oh, it's okay. It's done that before. They'll tape it up and they'll just go right back in. So I went into it with just a very neutral, open-minded experience of, I want to learn how to not only defend myself, but do something very challenging. Exactly what you said before.
Yeah.
Do challenging shit. And I've said it multiple times, Cameron Haynes, all these different guys, life is a lot easier when you do a lot of hard things.
A lot of hard things. Yeah.
And it just, the hard parts of life don't seem as hard at that point because you've done the ice baths, you've done jujitsu and gotten your fucking dick kicked in by a little 140-pound dude. You've run outside. You've
do all those things.
You know, even my bodybuilding, that was a crazy trial of dropping 90 pounds in 1 year, going from 240 to 150 on stage. That was another hard thing that set me up.
Toughness to that. Like, it may not be the same toughness as snapping your finger back in the place, but you learn a lot. You learn a lot about
mental
yourself.
Fortitude. You learn a lot about these different
How far
things.
can I push myself?
Yeah.
You know, and how bad do I want it? How far am I willing to go? Because that's really the question, and that's what separates, I think, mostly anybody in any sport. Like, you got super talented people, but how far are you willing to go? It's like, you know, when you used to see Kobe Bryant train and play, and like, this guy was willing to go to the end of the world, and that's it. And there's probably guys more talented than him, or even Michael Jordan himself. I think there's guys that were more talented than Michael Jordan. Nobody outworked him. Nobody. You know, and that's crazy.
Sweat equity,
yeah. And that's where I live my life, is sweat equity. Like, there are tons of people more talented, smarter, faster, bigger, stronger, whatever you want to call it. You're not going to outwork me. Now, once in a while you will. You know, we all get tired, and like,
we're humans.
You know, yeah, we're human, and like, trust me, there's times when 4:30 rolls around, that alarm goes off, and I don't want to get out of bed. You know, but 99 out of 100 times, you're not going to outwork me. You know, and that's it. Most people are lazy. Most people. I think that if the general population is just not lazy, they would be so much more successful. So much more successful, but they take that easy route. You know, the easy money, the easy whatever it is, you know, back to the cubicle. I'm going to sit in that cubicle because it's easy. I'm still getting paid, you know. It's not what I want to make, but I'm lazy. Because that's what they're saying. I'm lazy. I don't have the energy to do it on my own. Okay. That's fine. That's well and good. Me, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do it on my own. And it's going to suck. I'm more than prepared for that to suck. You know, and that's it. Stop being lazy. Stop not showing up. I know so many people that just don't show up. How do you not show up? Like, you committed yourself to something, and now you're tired, or you're just like, you don't feel good today. What do you mean you don't feel good today? Are you sick? Are you dying? Are you in the hospital? No, I just don't feel good. Show up. But I don't feel good. Nobody cares. I certainly don't care. It doesn't matter to me, you know. And I tell this to my kids all the time. I'm like, you don't feel good. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody cares. You don't feel good. Show up. No, I don't feel good. I don't care, man. Like, it's really that simple. You have a job to do. Show up, get it done. Go home and don't feel good after that, but get it done. People aren't willing to do that, though.
Yeah.
Like, they were years ago. You know, the generations of our fathers.
Well, life has made life too easy.
It's way too easy.
And that's the problem. You know, everybody sees these influencers on Instagram. Everybody sees this easy, quote unquote, easy money to be made, but they don't realize that it's far and few between. And you really do sell yourself out to get there. In a lot of cases, the amount of people that I see, the amount of people that I see, especially females. And this isn't a dig at females. It really isn't.
No.
I got a lot of respect for females that actually respect themselves. That's really what I have to say as a caveat.
There are very few.
Very few.
And
I was raised by a single mother since I was 2.
Yeah.
I have a enormous respect for females and women.
Absolutely.
And hard workers and real feminism, not bullshit feminism.
Yeah.
Like real empowerment of women, real, not when you're just jamming it down someone's throat because it's a talking point for a campaign.
Well, that's what it's become now.
Yeah, well, that's what it's become. Yeah. But the majority of women that I see degrading themselves online, the amount, you know, not so much men because they don't get the clicks. So the women, they tend to stick with it further. But I just saw this recently, and this isn't a female. I hate that you even have to say it because they'll take it as a female bashing thing. It's a girl that is in the Bev's circle, whatever. And the other day, I unfollowed her a long time ago, but somebody sent me her post of a dude holding a stack of cash in front of her. She's sitting in a car in Miami, and I guess it's her OnlyFans link in the thing. Really? Okay. I mean, if that's what you enjoy doing, I mean, if that's how you feel like you can get a buck, that's the only way. That you can't use your mind and be successful in creating something that's important of relevance. You have to use your vagina and your breasts. If that's what you believe, then Godspeed, do that. But you're looked at as an object now. You're not looked at as a human being.
And there's serious consequences for that.
Serious. Down the line, too.
Down the line. I'm not talking immediate. Like, great, you're going to get a fancy car and maybe a nice house and maybe a whole bunch of other stuff. Maybe, right? I can tell you what you're not going to get. You're not going to get a guy that wants to marry you and respect you and raise his family with you. Because I don't want that from my wife. Like, I would, if I found out like my wife was an ex-porn star or something like that, like, I would take a walk.
Or the town slut.
Yeah, or whatever it is, But the fact that you're willing to do that to yourself and degrade yourself says a lot.
Well, my terminology for stuff like that, because I do see a lot of girls that have boyfriends. And they do a lot of OnlyFans.
Yes.
And they do all this stuff. My terminology for that is not your girlfriend. This is to the guy. That is our girlfriend.
Our girlfriend. Yeah.
That's our girlfriend. And no, I'm not paying to see her for OnlyFans because I don't care. I truly don't give a fuck. I'm not that guy that's desperate to see that shit. I don't care. But that is our girlfriend. That's not your girlfriend. That's our girlfriend.
What's truly baffling and sad on the other side of the spectrum is the amount of guys that are willing to pay for that.
Oh, it's crazy. I used to yell at Tyler. Sorry, Tyler. I used to yell at Tyler all the time, my boy, because he would pay for OnlyFans. And I'm just like, yo, dog, first off, Pornhub is free. Please just go there. If you have to watch anything, just please go there. Just, it's not a plug for Pornhub. I don't condone that either. But man, just go to the website. It's free. You don't have to spend $4.99.
These guys get obsessed with these girls.
Obsessed. Because I don't know if it's because I don't know if it's because it's a local thing, and it's because they're not unknown porn stars. Yeah, they're just like the girls that they've seen in yoga pants. They're like, oh my god, I gotta get on that.
If I keep on paying her for long enough, maybe she'll come around.
Yeah, maybe she'll recognize my Amex number when I drop it in front of her at a class. It's like, no, bro.
I don't know.
That couldn't be the lowest. Least amount of testosterone move in the world of just, I'm going to pay this girl.
No, I honestly think I might have less respect for the guys that are paying the girls than the girls that are taking the money. Because, man,
without the guys, the girls don't make any money.
They don't exist, right? Yes. So like, okay, like you don't exist after that. But there's so many guys that are willing to pay, and I don't know what it is for OnlyFans. But
it depends. They set the rate.
Whatever. Let's say it's $6.99 a month. It's like, okay, it's very little money, but I guarantee that guy's going in there and he's like tipping the girl and he's getting
messaging,
and then eventually,
and she's sitting there messaging back. Oh, hey baby,
the same message.
Actually, it's probably another dude that's managing it for her.
Yeah, but 100%, it's some guy sitting behind the screen.
It's Kenji.
So it might be Kenji, but it's some big fat bald guy.
Yeah,
and they're like, hey baby.
Yeah, crazy man. That's so creepy.
And like, think about that for a second.
Huh?
Like that's some dude she pays to manage her account. She's not even there.
No, she's not there. Yeah, she's not there. She's counting the stack of money that you just sent her, and it cleared this morning with the wire transfer.
Easy.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of girls that I see that get notifications for I want to you be my sugar daddy, sugar baby, and they're just like, yo, I want to pay you $4,000 a month, four bands.
Oh yeah,
4 bands. You're gonna pay a girl 4 bands to just exist and talk to you.
I've seen it many times.
You can't be that lonely. Please go read a book. Go hit a fucking bench press. Go do something, because there's something that's not clicking in the neurons.
There's a lot of guys that are that depressed in their life and that upset about whatever it is, but they are willing to pay that. I've seen guys pay much more than that. I've seen guys set up girls with apartments. No, seriously.
I know you're being so serious.
And they got a wife and kids at home, and they're like, all right, I got a girl, I'm paying her bills for her apartment, all her spending fees for the month, and the deal is I get to come over and get a blowjob or fuck her or whatever it is, and like, is that really what you want out of life? Like, how does that make you
feel? What a waste of money. Why don't you put that money in your kid's college account or something? Do something.
I don't get it. Like, I get that you're miserable. I get that part.
It's a much different brain that we have, though.
No, I'm not.
My mom has always said, you can't think that everybody thinks
No, they
like
don't.
you.
You don't.
And that's the mistake that I made for a long time.
Everybody makes that.
Until I got that advice from her, and I was like, oh, wow, you're 100% correct.
100%.
You know,
I mean, most people think very differently. Most people. But, you got to hang around with people that think the same as you.
well, that's why. I mean, I've cut a lot of friends out. I've cut a lot of people out of my life, and it's not because I don't love these people and I don't think that they're awesome. I think you're awesome in your own way, but I just can't be around you anymore. You fester in your own shit. You cause your own problems. And then you sit there and you point at the sky and like, why me, God? Well, you're doing it to yourself, bro.
It's that victimhood mentality.
Yeah, dude, you're doing it to yourself.
Do something about it. Do something.
I've spoken about it. I've spoken about it before, and I've never mentioned the person's name, and I never will.
Yeah.
But it's a very, very close friend of mine for a long time. We haven't spoken in a year.
Yeah.
And he was in a relationship with a woman. I can't even call her a woman, a girl. She's not even a woman.
Yeah.
So he was in a relationship with a girl who just did nothing but put him down, abuse him, suck in of his time and his livelihood.
Yeah.
She got pregnant twice with him, and she had other kids with other people before him.
Really?
And he created his own shitty environment. That's really what happened. And truthfully, I felt bad for him because he never was able to pull himself out of it. And then after the first child was born, well, I can't leave now because I was like, no, you can. You have only one kid, dude.
Yeah.
Please. And then the second one, I'm like, you're pushing it. You could still dip. And it was just a constant cycle of victim mentality, police being called, of just I just said, you know what, dude, I can't be around it anymore because I'll give you all the advice in the world.
No, he's not listening.
Listen, my advice isn't ironclad. It's not bulletproof advice. No. But seeing things from the outside, witnessing a lot of different perspectives on life and situations, and seeing similar situations pan out with other people I know and my mom's friends, and this, I have a good understanding of what you should and shouldn't do. Continually getting back with somebody like this is just going to continually create the same monster that you're trying to defeat. And he just couldn't get it. So we naturally, and she hated me because I would give him the advice that he needed and he wouldn't take. So truthfully, we just drifted apart and we haven't spoken. And does it pain me to think that way? Without question. That was one of my closest friends for a long time. But at the same time, that negativity then leaches into my brain.
Oh yeah.
And every time he calls, I'm irritated because he's irritated. I'm just like, I can't be around it anymore, dude. I'm trying to improve myself.
No, that's going to destroy you. That is something you don't want to be around.
It's like a bad client that you're coaching, that you have to listen, because even in the personal training side of things, it is a therapy session in a lot of ways for 100%. A lot of people.
I would say at least 50%, of my clients pay to, not hang out. Of course they want to work out, but they want to talk. They want to talk, and the reason that I've had clients for 10 years, 12 years, is because they enjoy talking, not just working out. And it's a huge therapy session, so it's like, yeah, if you can't relate to this person, or if this person's bringing you down, you need to cut the cord and move on, get out.
Yeah.
And it's a tough lesson to learn. And I think we've all been there. We've all had friends where we know this guy's just no good for us. And then we hang around until we finally figure out, like, just leave this loser.
Yeah.
Leave him, and yeah, it hurts. It hurts. Cause I've got a friend from high school that I don't talk to him anymore. Same thing. I mean,
that was a friend from high school for me too.
A little longer than you've been, but and no harsh feelings towards him. I still love the guy, but oh man, you bring me down.
Yeah.
Like, you are on this negative trail, and I'm trying to go on the positive side, and everything you do is just terrible. It's terrible, and you're not willing to do anything to get out of the situation. So I'm cutting you off. That's it. I'm not answering the phone. I'm not reaching out. I'm not doing anything. And then eventually, you just lose contact.
It's funny how when you stop reaching out.
So that's an interesting thing, right?
Yeah, and that's with a lot of people. It's not just with friends like that. It's just you stop reaching out, and the radio silence is deafening.
So I think that's a huge indicator of who you really are, who your relationship is. Okay, so if I stop calling, you're saying you're never going to talk to me again. Interesting. Because if that's the case, I'm going to stop calling.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to you, and I do that with a lot of people. And some people call, and then, we'll go back and forth, and we call, and if somebody doesn't call me, and I'm doing it intentionally, like if I don't call you for like 3 weeks, I'm doing that intentionally to see, is this guy going to pick up the phone and call me?
I'm setting out a feeler.
Yeah. And when they don't, that's it, man. You're cut off. You're done. And it's better off.
Yeah. I have a friend, and he listens to the show every now and then, so he may hear this, and it's nothing against him personally.
Yeah.
But he got involved with his girl. They moved in together, this and that. And then once they moved in together, just all communication just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
And I'm very big on inviting people to everything. I like to include everybody, even if I know they don't like it. I play Magic the Gathering, which truthfully has been a godsend when I do play, because that has taken me out of the phone. So you sit there with actual people, even though some of them are like young Sheldons. You're like, holy shit, I couldn't believe someone could
I
be
used
this
to play
nerd.
when I was in high school. So
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
So I got to get you back into it. So it's like you sit across from a young Sheldon type of dude, but you realize that this person is just trying to not fit in, but they're just trying to enjoy what they enjoy and be present. So it's a cool environment to be able to sit there, no distractions, and just play cards and read cardboard. And it's almost worth the hefty investment sometimes on these paper pieces of nothing.
I can't even. I mean,
it's so expensive. One collector pack comes with a lot of mythics or rares could be $30, $40 just for one pack, 15 cards.
My son loves Pokemon.
Okay.
So I'll buy him packs of Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Like the first time I went in 7-Eleven, right? And I just I see the pack of Pokemon cards.
It's naked.
And I'm like, all right, yo, boss, how much does it cost? It's like $7.99.
Yeah.
I said, what?
Yep.
$7.99.
Remember, it was $2.
I thought it was like $3.
Yeah.
You know, like that shows how old I am. But like I remember walking in, buying baseball cards, and it was like, 50 cents for this pack, $1 for this. It was like the crazy cards you get for like $3 a pack, or something. Now this guy wants $6.99, $7.99 a pack of normal Pokemon cards.
It's crazy. And you're not even guaranteed any good cards.
Nothing. And my son opens a pack. He's like, this one sucks. This one sucks.
This one sucks. And you just go, okay, great. God, I got to go call that guy that I hate for those lessons for the training. Fuck, stop.
It's terrible.
Stop burning through the money.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I invite him to a lot of different things, and even jujitsu. I invite everybody to jujitsu, even though I know they're probably not going to like it, because they just are set in their ways and this and that. But so I've invited this person to multiple things. Every single time there's an excuse of why not. But you see when you look at their profile,
he's telling you something different.
Well, yeah, you see when you look at their profile, you see they're out doing things.
Right. So what he's telling you in a nice way is like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, which is cool. That's
fine. Yeah.
But it's not. You know what? It's things that he would enjoy.
Probably. Okay.
Well, no, that he bought cards, concerts that they want to go to, this and that. So you start sitting there and you just go, okay, well, I'm not going to keep inviting you to things.
No.
So the other day, he literally, I texted him and I said, yo, I'm going to this concert that I know you want to go to. I already got tickets with a couple of buddies of mine. Oh, well, I'm sick right now, and I can't make that decision right this second. I'm like, dude, it's in May. Like, it's not tomorrow. It's in May. So I didn't even answer him. He drove past my house the other day, honked at me, yo, what up, sexy, this and that. And I literally turned around with the most dead serious face, and I just went, so this is how I have to see you? Just you driving by, this and that. I said that out loud. And he just realized that I was actually super pissed, I think, and just like very, what are we doing? And he just drove by and never texted me, yo, I'm sorry, blah, 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 this and that. Nothing. So it's okay. It's cool, bro. I won't hit you up again.
It's interesting.
I'm not offended, but it's like, I'm not going to keep reaching out.
You don't have to.
I'm not going to keep doing this and keeping my, it's like I'm reeling a line that's never coming in. So it's cool, bro. I'll cut the line.
There's something interesting that happens when a guy gets in a serious relationship with a woman, right? And I don't know how serious it is with him, but it changes the dynamic of your boys' relationship. How you interact with your boys, because sometimes that girl doesn't like your boys, or something.
Oh, I know she doesn't like me.
Right. So
I know she doesn't like me.
So now he's got to play that game of like,
most of the girlfriends that manipulate their significant others, they don't like me.
Sure.
Because I
call them out on it.
Yeah, I call them out on it, and I have no filter. So I'm just like, yeah, I don't like what you're doing with so and so, and it is what it is. You don't have to like me. I'm not having sex with you. I don't care. I'm just going to tell you straight. I'm not going to be rude about it, but I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. Like, that's just how I am, and that's how I am. I keep that energy with everybody. So it doesn't matter that you're my boy's girl or that, this, and that. I don't care what title you have. Right. The title to me is you're a person that I'm letting you know that I see what you're doing, and it's not cool.
Yeah. So the difficult part there is like he made his choice also.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah. It's just like, we know.
Yeah.
We
know. Yeah, we know.
It's cool.
I guess this was just like showing people that are probably in a similar situation with friends of theirs that, if that's kind of the situations that are occurring, you can understand what's going on if you don't already. And that's also, if he listens to this, I get it.
I get it.
Yeah.
listen,
I get it.
That's your choice. That's
Yeah.
cool. If
Hey,
this works for
Godspeed.
your life, like, hey,
Hey, Godspeed, brother. I don't have to deal with it.
that's it, right?
I deal with the dog, and that's it.
man.
And that is
Not
all I
my
got to deal
problem,
with.
but yeah.
I want to jump back to you opening the gym.
Yeah.
I know we got derailed. That
Yeah,
usually always happens. But I wanted to jump back to you opening the gym. What was it like?
Yeah.
Pitfalls. What was it just easy for you, or was it a lot? Yeah.
No, I don't think there's anything worth doing that actually is easy. I never thought for a second it was going to be easy, but I made a decision that this is what I'm going to do. And I will tell you exactly how it went down. We spoke a little bit about this before, but I quit my corporate job and I stumbled for a while. I was working for bodybuilding.com. I was working for Optimum Nutrition. So I had those small things going for me. And I was always doing personal training on the side, but I started doing a little more personal training on the side. And I remember the conversation with my wife. She wasn't my wife at the time; she was my girlfriend. We were sitting down to dinner, and I'm like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do this. Like, I don't care. Like, I can't die knowing that I didn't try." And she's like, "What do you mean? I can't live the rest of my life thinking about what if, and I'm going to take all the money we have and I'm going to invest everything I've got, and I'm going to put 25,000 on the side, right? And that's going to pay our rent and hopefully our food for the next year. Hopefully, at least. Now, she's a teacher. She makes pretty decent money,
This is before astronomical inflation prices.
before
at least you had that.
So this is the crazy part, right? So we were in a 1-bedroom apartment in Queens, and we were paying $1,300 a month. So that doesn't exist anymore. But so 25,000 was enough to get us by for a year, maybe more. And so I took every penny I had in the bank, and then I went and I applied for every credit card that existed with a low interest rate. And on one day, I took every credit card I had and I cashed every single one of it. So you're allowed to cash in like whatever it was, 90% of the balance of the credit card. So if I got a $10,000 line, I could take 9,000 out in cash. And I think I cashed in about 15 to 20 credit cards in one day. And I put everyone in my bank account. And my credit went from $750 to zero.
Do not lend this guy any money.
Don't do this.
Holy shit!
I said
putting it all on red.
Okay, yeah. So I literally did that, and I had about 250,000 in cash at that point to open up this gym. And I figured, so I had about 2.5 years to pay all those credit cards back, right? So
stress.
Yeah. I get this place. I already had the place in mind. I find the place. I lease the place. Okay, I put the down payment on the place. I go in. I start building. The town comes in right away, and they shut me down.
Oh, man.
They're like, where's your permit? Permit for what? For a gym. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean I need a permit for a gym? Like, what is this? Like, I didn't know. I was just like, I thought this was just going to be like, you come in, you open up a business. Who tells you you need a special use permit. You need a fire permit. You need whatever it was. I don't know.
Those things are such jerk off fucking.
They are unbelievable.
And it's just a money grab by the towns.
That's what it was.
And it's so irritating when I hear about this, because the amount of businesses that I've heard about
stop businesses.
They stop you, but you still have to pay rent.
You still have to.
Still got to pay rent.
Okay, so here I am now. I'm literally in the middle of building out a gym, and building inspector comes in, shuts down my job, shuts everything down. And now it takes me about 2.5 months to get a meeting with the village that I then have to go and meet with all the members of the town who want to come down and object to my opening a gym. And
isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
You got that much time where you could say, I don't want this gym here.
Yeah. Of course, this all happens. And like you said, it's just a money grab, right? Because the town just wants their money. And so they're not really listening to anybody that's sitting down in that meeting.
Modern day mafia.
Yeah, that's what it is. So they held me up for, I don't know, $25,000 worth of permits and fees and all this crap. So there
goes the food
budget right
there. Goes the food.
That was the end of that, But
we're eating tuna cans. We're going bodybuilding 101.
Yeah, so this is where it comes in. So I'm literally in tears. Like I got nothing left, man. Like there's not a penny to my name left. So the first year, I worked 5:30 in the morning till 8:30, 9 o'clock at night every single day, 7 days a week. And I didn't take a single day off. I took Christmas Day off, and that was it. And this went on for about 3 years. And I worked every single day. I couldn't afford to hire anybody. I couldn't do anything. I had 200 and something $1,000 worth of debt I had to pay off. And the business was just starting.
Is that still credit card debt?
That was all credit card debt.
Yeah, so the interest is rolling over too.
So what happened is, after the first year, the interest like starts to really pick up.
Yeah,
and
that's how they make their money.
Yeah, so they lock you in, and so that was about 3 years before I was able to pay that off, and I didn't take a penny, not a penny, the first couple of years. Like every dollar I made went back into paying those loans back, and then so it was a freaking nightmare, man, a nightmare, and it was the best thing I ever did, though. It's like,
I was gonna say, what did you learn from that experience?
Everything, so many things beyond anything I could have ever learned. Sitting in a desk and just taking a check, and like I learned real life, and real responsibility and freedom, because I could have walked away. I could have at any point, like, hey, you just file bankruptcy and walk away.
Yeah, call it a day.
But here's the thing, like, and this is what I tell everybody that's like, oh, I want to start a supplement company or a gym or this or that. I said, how much pain are you willing to take to do this? Because if the answer is, I just want to do it, it's not good enough. You have to be willing to damn near die to do it, because there's somebody else out there that's going to, whether it's me or whether it's somebody else. I mean, there are plenty of people out there that they're going to work day and night. They're going to be completely obsessed. They're going to, have no family life, have no time. They're going to beat you. If you think, oh, I got a few bucks in my pocket, I could open up a business, I'll hire a manager, I'll do this and that, you're dead. You're going to fail. You're done. You're done before you even start.
Yeah, especially if you don't have an actual part and hand in it right from the get-go.
No, you have to be so deep in it that you're swimming in shit.
So I don't have anybody that works with me yet. I don't have any editors. I don't have anything like that. And guess what? My clients don't want it. No, that's the crazy part too.
So that's the other thing that ends up happening is like everybody wants you after a while.
Yeah.
So
what happens when I get so big that I have to send people out to shoot for me, or send people out to do the edits for me, and they go, "Did you edit this? Or did you have one of your guys from your team?" Not to say that they'd be bad. I would never allow anybody on my team to be bad.
Listen, I do the same thing with my, the trainers that are at my gym. It's like, well, I don't want him training me. Well, he's been with me 7 years now. Like, I've taught him everything I know. Like, we speak but he's not you.
It's the rapport.
Yeah.
It's the rapport. It's the authenticity factor.
Yeah. So that's a tough nut to swallow.
Yeah.
But you do have to eventually get there.
Oh yeah.
Eventually you'll find the right person.
Yeah, I need editors. That's what I need down the line. I need an editor to help me out, get some of the backlog done, because I can't sometimes when it's crazy, I can't get everything done.
No.
When you have 5-6 clients on retainer and everybody needs edits the same week.
Yesterday.
It's weird. I hit them all up the month before towards the end, and I say, hey, let's get things planned out. So this way I know when I'm shooting who and when I'm doing this, when I'm doing that. Okay, we're gonna let you know. And all of a sudden, without fail, like they're all texting each other like,
absolutely.
Should we text Nick now?
Yeah.
They all text me at the same time. Hey, can you shoot on the 10th? Can you shoot all the same day? I go,
everybody wants to.
There are 30 days in this fucking month and all of you guys pick the same days. Can we just do something different?
It's incredible. But again, that goes back to like how the universe works, right? Like, how does it happen?
I've no idea. I'm still shocked every time I get a message like everybody wanting to do the same thing on the same day every month, and I go, now I have to choose.
Right.
I don't want to choose.
Like, you could be cold for like three weeks, 4 weeks, and then all of a sudden, it's like they're talking to each other.
Yeah.
You gonna call him? You gonna call him? Yeah. Let's all call him. Let's fuck
with him.
How bad can we mess with him right now?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's been like that since I started business, and it's always been a scary thing where there are some slow weeks, slow month, and you go, man, is this what it's going to be like? And then all of a sudden, everybody just hits you up, and they're like, hey, I need this, I need that, I need this, and that, and then you're almost wishing for slow time.
Oh yeah.
And you don't give yourself the opportunity to enjoy the slow time and chill out a little bit. And when I say chill out, it's like, oh, do a little prospecting, hit a couple businesses up.
Right.
Do some more extra episodes and hang out and maybe a little bit more research on topics. And
there's plenty of things you could
plenty of things to do instead of just sit there and veg out, because then all of a sudden a week goes by, you haven't done anything, and everyone hits you up now and you go, oh, wait, I should have gotten rid of the backlog of edits that I had from 2 weeks ago. There
is something to be said about downtime too, though.
Yes.
You have to allow.
Have it.
Yeah, you have to allow yourself to relax.
Yes.
Because if you don't, you're gonna fry yourself.
And that's actually the position that I'm in now, is that I'm very much in I need to I need to have my me time, my real me time.
Oh yeah.
Not my me time of me sitting there watching TV, not my me
No, that
time of
doesn't
me
count.
playing video games, or not my me time of me doing this, that. My me time of me actually being able to sit and just be still and be bored and be okay with it.
Can you do that? Because that's a mental game more than anything.
Yeah, you know what? I was getting headaches, and I thought it was mostly from the jiu-jitsu, but it actually wound up not being. Derlin Castro, Derlin, I figured. Yeah. Derlin adjusted me, and I did feel great after the adjustment. So I do want to attribute some of that to him. Mm-hmm. But since I've been taking this more seriously and separating my life a little bit more and not being a single entity of call me anytime, this and that, on this one phone all the time, and video games when I'm not doing this, and constant noise in the background and constant stimuli and this and that. First off, I don't have a TV in my bedroom. This is
so I'm big on that too.
It is beautiful not having a TV in the bedroom, man. You go in there, you sleep, you have sex, you do whatever you're gonna do, and you get out.
For. Yeah,
you get out.
Sit around and watch TV for 3 hours a night. Like that's a terrible thing.
So it's truly been really nice, but now it's weird how much I'm enjoying even driving with no music on. No podcast, no audiobook, no music.
Just your own thoughts.
Just my own thoughts. And I've always been cool with that. I've been an only child my whole life. So it's
like, can you be with your own thoughts?
I can.
Yeah, so that's great.
Yeah, I can.
A lot of people can't.
It's tough because it makes you start thinking about your existence. It makes you start thinking about business. Mm-hmm. Where do you go from here? The simpler life that you're yearning for, and not so much the constant chaos that we've all been accustomed to that we call New York.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or, it's just fast paced. No, it's not. It's chaos. That's what it is.
It's controlled chaos.
It's chaos, and it's not the way that we're supposed to live. We're supposed to live a more meaningful, slow, interpersonal type of a lifestyle. And is that to say that you can't get that here? No, but it's much more challenging to accept that fate here when everyone runs around with their hair on fire.
Right, and
then you're just a product of your environment at that point, and you're just like, okay, well,
you want to keep up with those other people, and that's
at one point I did.
Sure,
at one point I wanted the $40 million house in the Hamptons.
So, I mean,
would it be nice? Without question.
Nice. Am I
necessary?
Chase it? Not really.
No, if it comes, it comes.
Yeah. I'm good with what I have. Like, of course, I want more, but I don't want more to the point where I'm going to have to sacrifice myself, my inner being, my health, like literally my mental health in order to get that. Because at the end of the day, and it's like anything else, I tell my nephew this all the time. He's 19 and he's just like coming into the real world now. I'm like, right now you want that Lamborghini and you want that Rolex. I'm like, listen, after a week of getting that Lamborghini, you're not going to want it anymore.
It's the same shit.
It's
the same shit. You look around and you just go, "Wow!" Now I have 36 months of $5,000 a month of payments.
Yeah.
Because generally, no one's buying that Lamborghini flat out unless you're a multi-millionaire.
And then you don't appreciate it anyway.
Yeah.
What do you chase?
It's just the next car.
But it's the same thing. Like the old thing. I forget what that. Something about Mary, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, all right, you're gonna go out with this girl, so jerk off before you go out with her, right? And then you'll see if you truly like her or not, because if you haven't jerked off, that you don't know if you just want to fuck the girl or if you actually like the girl.
Post nut clarity.
Yeah, post nut clarity, right? So it's like the same thing, man. Like before you do anything in life, it's like you got to have some post nut clarity.
You got to beat off, man.
Yeah, like all right, if you really want that Corvette, like whatever, drive the Corvette for a week and see if you really want that Corvette, or if is it just like. You want a nut and you haven't nutted yet. And it's like, so.
Yeah, I haven't driven a sports car ever in my life.
Right. So it's like, do I really want that, or is it just the idea of having it?
Yeah.
Because the idea of having a house in the Hamptons and that, it sounds great, right? But do I really need it?
The maintenance of it, the upkeep,
it's going to drive me crazy.
Yeah, just everything. And then how much you're over here for business. Now, I pay for this house. I got to make time to go out there. Right. And then when you're out there, you're stressing about work business, from here.
Yeah. So it's crazy, but those things aren't even on my radar anymore. Like, I don't care.
Simplicity.
Yeah. There's a lot to be said about simplicity.
It's beauty in it. Truthfully, I was having this conversation with my cousin just before the podcast. He was talking about how once he's done with being an NYPD officer, he wants to take my cousin and just go in the middle of nowhere, small town vibes, and just live.
I get it.
Have the chickens,
right.
Have the little farm, the homestead, and there is a big homestead push by a lot of younger people too.
Yeah, huge.
Because we're just tired of the constant marketing that's done to us. We're tired of the constant.
Well, we're just consumers at this point.
That's what I'm saying. We're tired of just the constant just need to continue buying. And I'm guilty of it too, man.
We're all
There's,
guilty of it.
dude, there's so much shit in this room that I bought that I definitely did not need to buy. I did
Absolutely.
not
I buy shit all the time.
I did not need to buy it. But I bought it because I got excited about a package showing up on my front door.
Oh, how crazy is
Oh,
that?
it's such a good feeling.
So that's
oh my God, I love it.
that feeling is like, so that's like the social media feeling too. It's like, you pick up your phone for that dopamine hit. Well, now I get home to that Amazon package. I'm like, ooh, package.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like,
Sometimes you forget what you fucking ordered. You go, what did I order?
Oh yeah.
What the hell is this
How
shit?
crazy is- Why are we doing this?
Exactly.
But yeah, we all do it. We all do it.
Truthfully, I tried to stop supporting Amazon and I wanted to support Barnes & Noble because I was buying a bunch of books. Now, first and foremost, I have far too many books that I have not read, and I keep buying books because of the excitement of reading another book.
Right.
So I have to pause myself on that because I bought this and 8 other books this past weekend, and I already have like 30 I haven't read, and these 2 that I really need to dive into.
Way over that.
Nick's tapped in. Nick's tapped out. I mean,
That's out.
yeah.
That's out. You're out.
Yeah, the kid's got to chill out. So now I'm going to be in my. That's why I want to get 5 done by May 1st. But I tried to go to Barnes and Noble over the weekend after brunch for my aunt's birthday to support. Obviously, they're a big corporation, but support local in some way and keep things in the big box stores, dude. First and foremost, this book was $16 on Amazon. Barnes and Noble had it for $30.
Yeah. See,
Almost every book, and they refuse to price match. Almost every book was at a minimum 30% marked over what Amazon was pricing it at. So I only bought 1 book and then I ordered the rest on Amazon to be delivered to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't justify spending $200 something on books where I could just spend $140 on books.
yeah, there's support, and then there's
There's just the greed of and this you guys are going to go out and they're already closing stores. So you think that they would change their ways a little bit, but I'll tell you what was beautiful about going to the store. It was packed.
It was really
Packed. Families, right? Just
kidding.
people excited. I've never seen a bookstore so busy in my life. I was like, what is going on?
I used to go to Barnes and Noble just to, especially when I was doing the bodybuilding and I was in all these magazines. So I would go to Barnes and Noble to look in the magazines, because you go up to the rack and you could sit behind an hour in Barnes and Noble, and there's so many magazines. I don't think that half of them exist anymore. But
probably not.
Probably not.
MD's done now.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy to just think that.
Yeah.
That physical publication is gone. Gone. Not even going to be digital. Gone.
It's insanity.
It's sad, truthfully.
It is, but I get it. I mean, things just move on.
Yeah.
But,
Changing of times.
I don't know how Barnes and Noble even stays in business.
I don't either. Well, I mean, they just closed the one over here in Comac.
Yeah.
They have the one in Massapequa. I think they still have the one in Carr
Yeah,
Place.
there's one right by
you guys.
Place. Yeah, and then there's one in Manhasset on Northern Boulevard, the Miracle Mile.
I think that one's closing.
It is closed.
I
Yeah.
could be wrong.
Listen, I haven't been there in 10 years, so I don't know. But yeah, that was a great one too. I mean, especially
It's just nice. It's peaceful. It's just nice. There was a really great bookstore in town called the Book Review. Beautiful, big bookstore. They went under during COVID, but then they opened up the next chapter, is what they call it, down the street, up New York Ave a little bit more towards Prime, and very nice shop. I mean, that's where I should have went to go and support.
That would be real support.
That's real support.
Like Barnes and Noble, they're still.
Yeah. So now thinking back on that actively right now, that's where I'm going to have to purchase it. But I think they only sell pre-owned books, which is good though, because it could be cheaper, honestly. And I marked the shit out of my books though. Like,
so what?
Yeah, I'm a highlighting fiend.
Yeah,
highlighting fiend, and then I take notes in the. I take notes on what I'm reading as I'm doing it because it just helps me to have that physical pen to paper type connection.
That's how you learn.
I tried doing it with the iPad. I tried even doing show notes with the iPad. Couldn't do it.
No, you're not gonna do it like that.
Yeah.
It has to be a physical touch. I know that's so weird.
It's so crazy.
Somehow,
even though you're writing it on the digital screen, it's just not the same.
It's not the same. That's how I used to study in college. Was I would just take all my notes from class,
retranscribe
every single note, and by the time I was done transcribing everything, I knew most of everything I needed to know. So I would just go back and study a little bit, and that's it. I'm done. Yeah. For some reason my brain just works that way.
I feel like that's most of our brains. We just don't give it the opportunity to.
And that's where it goes to too with things where it's like if you find yourself doing something physical while you're actually learning, you're going to learn it a lot better than if you're just sitting at a desk,
Yeah.
like reviewing a textbook. No, it's like, no, physically do something while you're doing that. What maybe something that interacts with the actual subject matter, but sometimes it's not. But like if I was in lab in science class, like in anatomy and physiology, like, you know, and we're doing a cadaver dissection, well, I'm actually learning while we're doing that cadaver dissection. I get to, you know, pull apart this nerve or this muscle or whatever it may be, the bone, and then you actually physically see it, and you've touched it, and you've been there, and now it's like, oh, this is real.
It's also like fixing a car.
Oh, sure.
You're not gonna, you know, until you get that tangible feedback, you're not gonna understand what it actually means to fix, change your oil, do the actual
You watch it on
maintenance.
YouTube.
Yeah, watch it all day.
Yeah, I could do that. No, you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, try it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why I'm staying away from the Apple Vision Pro. I'm not gonna be that dude
I
wearing that fucking VR headset around town and shit. I can't do
I
it.
think that's the ultimate poison.
It's over for us. It's over for us.
I mean,
Stay over here.
You know, we were talking about.
Leave Noah alone. Kenji, come here. Come here. Kenji, leave Noah alone. Come here. Kenji, get your fat head over here. Come here. Come here. I know you want to say hi to him.
Yeah,
I know.
all right.
After your nap, you want to say hi. I want to get to a couple more topics, and then I want to let you go because I know you're a busy man, and I appreciate you spending the time with me. The time goes so quick.
Oh, I know.
It's unbelievable. All right. So being an entrepreneur, opening the gym, what's it been like?
Yeah. So, you know,
Because obviously I talked to you about this before we started. I got into video creation because I loved creating video and telling stories. I didn't get into it to do the taxes, to do all the bullshit that I can't stand doing, truthfully. And unfortunately, school doesn't teach us any of this.
No.
Even if you wanted to take entrepreneur, there isn't an entrepreneur class, at least to my knowledge,
There's
when I was in.
that actually prepares you. So it's basically learning on the fly. And this is, you got to jump out. There you go, bud. You got to jump out the airplane and figure out how to open the parachute before you hit the ground.
Crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah,
it's nuts. But you'll open the parachute. You'll figure it out. You know, I'm sure there are people that don't.
Oh shit! Splat, son.
Splat,
oh man.
But entrepreneurship is the hardest thing you can possibly do, and it's not just hard on you; it's hard on everybody around you. And my wife is a saint for this because there are so many times when I come home and I'm an asshole. Straight up, I'm an asshole because somebody pissed me off at work, or there's a bill that came in that I didn't expect, or, you know, this is a big thing in the gym is somebody breaks something. Oh, it happens all the time, you know.
Yeah, because it's not their shit, so they don't care.
Their shit. They don't care. They spill stuff. They don't care. You know, everything's a mess. They don't care. You know, I pay a membership here. Somebody else will clean it up. You know, or the machine broke. Sorry. You know, somebody broke my front door a couple months ago when there was a big storm. They don't care. They just open the door. The wind hits the door goes flying off the hinges. Glass shatters. $3,000 later, you know, I got a new door. But it's like, so these are contingencies you don't plan on, right? So HVAC went out last year, right?
Oh, HVAC right? is crazy.
$25,000 for a new HVAC, right?
And you got the big ass fan.
I got the big ass fan. The big ass fan does not work without the HVAC, though. It works, but it's not good enough, you know? Yeah. So these are things you don't plan for, and you have to learn to just kind of run with it. Because if you don't, it's going to eat you up. And like, there are always going to be problems. And you don't know where it's going to come from, but there's going to be another $25,000 bill. And there's going to be another, you know, the Stairmaster will break, the treadmill will break. And it happens all the time. Now, over the years, I've learned to fix every one of them because, especially in the beginning, I was like, I'm not calling a guy up every time something breaks. So I learned how to change it.
I'm going to be the guy.
I am. I'm the guy. You know, I'm changing the alternators and the Stairmasters, and I'm changing, you know, the tread on the treadmill and everything. I could do everything now. I don't want to, but I still do. You know, it's like, all right,
saves you $1,000 here, $1,000 there. That's huge, man.
Even more than that. You'd be surprised how quick it adds up. You know, every day it's something. It's something. And that's why I'm grateful for my past experiences in life where, you know, I was taught how to use my hands and how to work hard and not be afraid to try things and stuff like that, where it's like, yeah, so that like little construction experience came, like my father working his whole life and working around the house, and I had the wood shop and everything, and all of a sudden all these things pay off. You know, the sink breaks in the bathroom, I go in there and fix it. I don't call a plumber. I go in there and fix it, you know. And so those are certain challenges, but you better learn how to do it if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to really like grind through it. Otherwise, yeah, eventually just going to come into problems that you can't solve with a dollar bill because you run out of dollar bills anymore. Be hands-on, fix it yourself, do whatever it takes, you know. And
there's something that's to be achieved when you actually work with your hands.
There's a great sense of
when you build things, even doing things around the house. Truthfully, these sound panels are supposed to be on the wall. They have been sitting against my wall for 2 months. I've had them for 2 months. They're custom made. Yeah, I'm just too nervous. I'm gonna look. I've even like tried to measure it out.
Right.
I'm too nervous. I'm gonna fuck it up.
Certain things you want to outsource.
Yeah. I'm just too nervous. I'm gonna fuck it up, so I haven't done it. But you know, in that book, Digital Minimalism, he talks about the ability to do things yourself, create projects, hang things up. Like there is a lot of satisfaction which comes with doing that type of work.
You should, as a man, and I'm gonna say this, you should be able to do certain minimal, at least tasks, you know, where you don't have to know how to build a house, but dude, if you don't know how to patch a hole in the wall, or like unclog a clogged sink.
He's about to say hang anything on the wall. He's about to say it. Go ahead, say it. God damn.
Like, you know, just as like, dude, fuck up. Go ahead.
I don't want to. It's gonna fuck the wall up.
Man? Good.
Then I gotta repaint it.
Yeah, good.
No,
so
I don't
you learn, and so you learn.
Well, truthfully, I gotta repaint that. I gotta paint that wall when they painted in here. They said, my mom said, "Oh, do contrast, do white, and then that." And I'm like, and then unfortunately, when I have the camera too far this way on my guest, you may see some of the white over there. So now I'm like, all right, well now I want to paint that anyway. So,
but you know, this is a thing like this entire future generation can't do.
No.
It's hilarious.
Well, there's a South Park episode about it.
I actually saw
it. Yeah. The handyman kept getting more and more loaded.
Like, oh, I need a special washer for this dishwasher, and I'll give you $50 extra. He's like, no,
I already. The guy down the block just gave me $500, and he keeps upgrading
so
it.
True.
And then he's in fucking space.
Yeah. I got a guy, and he's a doctor, but he can't change a light bulb.
Yeah, it's wild.
No, it's wild. That's wild. So he tells me that.
Please don't tell me he's a surgeon.
No, he's not a surgeon.
Oh, thank God.
He's not a surgeon, but he's a doctor, okay?
Yeah, still.
He'll wait till enough light bulbs go out in his house so he could call the handyman to come in and change the light bulbs.
Nah.
He's incapable of doing it.
Nah, it's nuts.
It's insane.
Nah, it's nuts. It's
insane. I tell him, like, this is disgusting. You're pathetic. You're not a man. You know, I'm like, you got to be able to do this. Like, this is sad. I mean,
can I tell you truthfully? You see those power tools next to the rain over there?
Never been used yet?
Dude, I bought them because I said, I don't even own any tools. I'm not a man.
Serious. Like,
so I bought a drill and I was like, I gotta buy them. Truthfully, I've used them. I hung my camera up. I've used them, and I'm trying to hang these up, so I will use them.
But you know, and again, there's a certain amount of satisfaction you get out of doing something, and then it's even like now I play with Legos with my son, you know, and he likes building, and it's like, so you finish that, and at the time it's kind of annoying, but like he's learning as he puts those Legos together, and he's learning how to problem solve and how to do stuff. And then he builds this whatever Star Wars thing, and he's like, Dad, how cool is this? I'm like, yeah, it's really cool, man. Like, it looks great. You did a great job. He's like, yeah, this is nice, you know. And
sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, sense of accomplishment. You know, they need that.
You don't get that in a digital space.
No,
you do, but you don't. It's a very weird
like
thing.
You
could level up in a you could level up in a video game, but the servers go down, done.
Yeah.
Unless that Lego smashes on the floor, that's gonna be there.
Yeah, it's true. I'll like. During Christmas, I had him come to the gym with me and get on the 12-foot ladder and hang the Christmas lights.
That's cool.
And like he's like a little monkey up there on the top, and he's like, "I'm not afraid, Dad. I'm not afraid." I'm like, "Good,
because I'd be like this because I am."
A little bit.
That's why I sent your ass up there.
I'm okay, Dad. I'm okay. Yeah. I got it.
That's awesome.
All those like little things. The other day we had to fix the washing machine. So the washing machine is in the closet, you know, and it's like, so I could pull the thing out like halfway, but I'm too big to get behind it. So I call him over. I'm like, yo, get behind there. Like, grab that hose and pull it out. He's like, yeah? I'm like, yeah. You could fit in there. And he's like squeezing his little body in between like the closet and the washing machine, and he gets back there. And he gets the hose. And
it's like Mr. Fantastic and The Thing.
Yes. Yeah.
It's the two of you.
Yeah. I told him a
handsome thing.
See, Mad Max, right? So there's a guy in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. It's a Master Blaster.
Yes.
So it's the little old man who sits on the top, and then his son who's like mentally handicapped.
Yeah.
His blaster, and he's blah, blah, blah. I said, all right, you know, I'm Master and you're Blaster. And we go in there.
That's awesome.
He thinks it's the greatest thing in the
world. That's awesome.
But yeah, it's little things, you know.
I was going to say, you know, you like rolling your sleeves up, but no one doesn't own any shirts with sleeves.
Shirts with sleeves.
Nah, when you got arms like that, you got to custom make. Now he's got to be a tailor too. He's got to custom make his shirts.
So like, I'll go out to dinner with my friends, like me, my wife, and my friends. It's like, you know, 20 degrees out today, and like, you're wearing a t-shirt, huh? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, you sweat. You get hot.
Oh, I'm sweating right now.
I am too. I'm sweating too.
Like,
yeah, it's okay.
I'm like, dude, yeah, I got muscle too. Like, I work hard for this.
Fuck yeah. Let's show a little bit of that bicep.
Yeah.
Actually, all of it.
All of it.
A good amount of it.
Yeah, a lot of it.
All right, so we got being an entrepreneur. I wanted to just get you remembering a time when the gym wasn't dominated by tech, selfies, and humans seeking validation from people that don't even exist in the real life space.
So this is like an interesting phenomenon in the gym, and it kind of goes along with a lot of people who go to the gym in the first place because they're seeking attention, right? So now you've got this attention seeking on a worldwide platform on social media, right? So now it's like, here's the greatest thing in the world, right? Like, I want to look better. Now, this is not everybody that goes to the gym, but there's a lot of people that go to the gym for reasons of glamour only, where they're not really there to, feel better or work out, to accomplish a goal. They're there to like, I want to look good in a bikini or whatever. So now you got these people there that they're seeking validation by going to the gym, and now they can spread it out to the rest of the world, right? So it's like, okay, I'm going to videotape. Every girl in the world is doing biceps and videotaping their ass while they're doing
crazy. The angles are nuts.
I'm like, dude, what part of that is your bicep? Like,
Didn't matter.
No.
It got, because that's what got all the likes.
Yeah, so now you got these pants that go up the girl's asshole, and it's like, I'm doing biceps today. Look at my ass. Like, come on. And the thing is the tripods and everything's around. It takes you 20 minutes to do 3 sets because you got to set the video camera up the right way and get the right angle and do all these things. I don't know what happened to just working out. Like, and this is why you see these people not getting the results, right? So whereas back in my day, I didn't bring the phone into the gym. Like when I was training seriously, it never made it onto the gym floor. First of all, for the most of that time, because I am old as fuck now, we didn't have the video cameras on the phone. If we were lucky, we had, maybe you could take a picture or like once in a while, but it wasn't a thing at all. So an hour workout took an hour. Now it takes 3 hours. Now these kids are like, I get kids that come into the gym like 3:30. It's 5:30, 6 o'clock, and they're still there doing like nothing. They get nothing accomplished. And let me tell you, their bodies never change. It's like the same garbage. Like, how do you work out this much and you look the same a year later, 2 years later? It's because you're not really working out. You're paying more attention to getting that nice shot on the phone or doing the exercise. And that's the other thing, right? So they're copying the stupid exercises you see on Instagram that don't work, but they get likes. So instead of doing the simple stuff that works, they're doing, whatever, cable kickbacks for their glutes. And I'm like, how about you just squat? I don't know, do 5 sets of 3 on squats and see how that makes your ass look, because it's going to make it a lot better.
Yeah.
Stupid cable.
And you're gonna have a lot more development on all the other muscle groups that you need.
Yeah, it's like, what happened?
Compound movements are the king of all exercises.
And listen, not everybody can squat, not everybody can bench press, but you can do some variation.
You can do modified versions.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't squat anymore. I won't put a bar on my back because my lower back just hurts too much. It's not that I can't squat, it's that I'm in pain, so I won't do it anymore. Now I'll squat on the hack squat. I'll do leg press. I'll do any squat machine. But the days of loading 500 pounds on my back and squatting are over.
Yeah.
My lower back is in serious pain.
My shoulders are shot.
I can't get back to hold the bar.
Truthfully, back in my heyday, I was doing 140s on shoulder presses for military press. Yeah. And I was banging out 4 or 5 reps, and I was totally fine. Now, this morning when I was working out, 45s, 50s, and I'm getting pain in my left shoulder. I'm just like, I'm not pushing it anymore. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it to me.
No.
I'd rather stay fit, functional, doing my thing.
You're young.
Yeah.
You're young. I'm more than 10 years older than you. Think about where you're going to feel at that point.
Yep.
I'm telling you, it doesn't get better. It gets worse. It gets worse.
Well, hopefully stem cells get cheaper.
Yeah, well, that's my next project is I'm going to go get stem cells.
Yeah?
Yeah, so they're legal in New Jersey now.
Really?
Yeah, so one of my doctors.
Can we document it?
Yeah, we can.
Would you be interested in that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's document it.
Yeah, he's opening up a clinic right now. So once he's open, I'm going to go.
That'd be awesome if we could document it and do like a little mini doc about you going and your experiences with it, and
yeah, we can definitely
post-op and this and that, like post-procedure.
Yeah,
it'd be cool.
It'll be interesting.
So that's actually what I was telling my cousin, and then I want to get to the next question for you, and I want to get you out of here so this way you can go be a business owner again.
Go back to work.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on growing my YouTube channel, growing the right way though, not just putting shit out for no reason. Yeah. I want to actually shoot some actual serious shit. I want to shoot the guys getting ready for jiu-jitsu tournaments. I want to shoot high rocks competitions. I want to shoot the real knit and grit emotionality of humans that are getting ready for hard shit or doing hard shit. And the science-based side of things, where you are exploring and experimenting with different things that can either help with longevity or help with just daily life and
quality of life.
Exactly. And all of these things. So along with the podcast, I want to start actually producing videos for me, because that's why I started doing the videos. And unfortunately, at some point when I started getting paid for the videos, not that you lost your happiness for it, but it became a job.
Yeah. So that's a very dangerous thing.
Yeah.
Right. And that's something that I never want to have happen with what I do. And I'm very grateful in the fact that, to be honest with you, with a lot of my clients, my athletes especially, sometimes I forget to get paid for what I'm doing. And that's a terrible thing. And they always follow up and do it. But that reminds me that I actually love what I'm doing.
Yeah. And
when I could train a guy for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and at the end, I'm just like, "Yo, great job. And, I'll see you next week, or I'll see." And he's like, "Oh, I got to pay you." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot."
Oh, that's right, bro. I forgot. Yeah.
And I really did. I'm not like making it up. Like, I enjoyed it so much, especially when I get those super talent, and I got a couple really, really talented kids. Man, when I tell you, I wish I could do it all for free. I'm not lying. Like, I really wish I could.
That's how I started. That's how I started.
Yeah. So like,
I was shooting friends. I was shooting pros at the gym for free and this and that. And then at some point, when it's your brain switched, for me at least, and it just was like, it's time to actually make money, because otherwise.
So you have to make money, but you have to love it. So, even though there are certain projects we all take that we're there to make money, you need to take projects that you take because you love.
Yeah, that's what I want to get back to. I want to get back to the creativity side of it. I want to get back to the not worried about likes side of things, which I haven't been for a while, but I really got to dive in about, I'm not doing a 15-second reel. This is a mini doc. This is a 15-minute video. Like, either you're going to watch it or you're not. Like, it's cool if you don't want to watch it, but this is important shit with a lot of great information, with somebody that's working their ass off, somebody that's doing cool things in the community, this and that. And then on top of it, I have my podcast. So like, you can tune in for full episodes and hang out with us and listen to it and gain knowledge and laugh with us, or fucking turn us off. I don't know. Like, whatever you want to do, you have these options.
Change your channel.
Yeah. So I think this has been the transitionary periods of like starting to shoot video, bodybuilding, leaving bodybuilding, not shooting. My mom said you used to be the meathead guy with all the people that you had on for the podcast, but now it's turned into more life, and it's turned into more things that matter more so on a grand scale of things. Yeah. And so I'm cool with that. It's true.
Well, there's a maturity that comes with that,
Yeah,
when we were younger and we were in that meathead zone. It was like the only thing that's important is bodybuilding and getting bigger.
That's all I could talk about with anybody, even my family.
Yeah.
I'd be at events and they would just be talking about it. I'd be like, "Oh yeah, you shouldn't eat that because of this." Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, I look back at it and I go, "Man, you were so into it that you couldn't see any other way."
And that's okay for them.
For them, as long as you mature.
Yeah, as long as you.
There's a lot of guys that don't.
Oh, I know. I mean, there's that guy still living in his van, pumping up every morning. You're like, dude, you're in a van. Like, maybe at some point you should have moved on. Like, it didn't work. The dream didn't happen.
Wait, you're still competing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dude,
great.
Suck.
Yeah, good luck. Not getting top 5 again, or not top 3.
Yeah, so those are the guys I like.
I feel bad for them, truthfully.
Yeah,
even the guys that, and I said this on the last podcast, the guys that are in their mid to late 30s that are still hammering the gear, hammering, just going to shows. And I'm just like, bro, at what point do you hang this up and just go? Not that you have to stop a dream, but at some point you have to realize that it's just not going to happen that way. You could still stay in shape. You could still do fitness. You could still have fun doing that. But the competition side, bro, you're gonna kill yourself.
You're done. Stop.
Yeah.
Like, I'm begging you to stop.
Yeah.
Like, for your own good, just please stop. And it's sad, really. It's anybody past that like 35 mark that really just hasn't made it. And especially if you've been pumping gear, since you're 18 and you're 35 and you haven't made it, please stop. Please, like, for your own health, just stop it. Stop it. Like, it's not good, and you're not going to make it anywhere. So focus on something else. Again, you can go to the gym and you can do your thing, stay in shape. You could look great for the rest of your life, but to put your actual health and life on the line for something that's never going to happen.
Plastic trophy, and you're spending money to do this.
Right. It's thousands, not a little bit of money, thousands. And that's one of the reasons I don't train bodybuilders anymore.
Oh, God.
They're the worst. The worst. They're all crazy.
I don't film a lot of bodybuilders anymore.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Oh, my God.
I mean, I learned that lesson quickly. Like, number one, these guys don't have any money. Okay, they're ludicrous, out of their minds. Like, I don't know, like, what you're smoking, but wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Keep it up, bro. Whatever you want to do, whatever you believe makes you happy. And
That's what makes you happy.
And
I don't think they're happy.
They're not happy. They're not happy because they're the guy that turns 50. They're still at the gym and they're there every day. And you can see it in their eyes, the amount of regret from missing out on life. That's the millionaire that let his family grow up without being there. Same thing for this. You missed every family party. You missed every this. You missed that. You missed all the events. Because I had to have my meal in my Tupperware. All right, bro. Like, we get it, dude. You could still bring it with you. You could still associate with people.
I still have my meals packed every day. You know, it's just part of my life.
Different, though.
Absolutely.
Different,
very
though.
different.
Yeah, very different than that guy that just can't let go.
No.
And I'm sure you're flexible with your meals. I'm sure you have a good... I'm sure you...
at the bar on a Friday night, when I'm there with my wife, I'm pounding beers.
I'm sure you have, as I was about to say, a good relationship with food to be able to be...
Absolutely.
Both sides.
The truth is, I'm very lucky in the fact that I've never been fat in my life. You know, I don't know if I can get fat. You know, I'm sure I can if I ate enough McDonald's and Wendy's and, you know, burgers and stuff, but it's not part of who I am.
There are people that want to kill you right now.
But, you know, like, it's just like, dude, I can, you know, I'll go out drinking and I'm fine. Like, it's not going to ruin my physique. Like, yeah, if I drink every day, it's nothing, but I want to enjoy life. So when I go out to dinner with my wife, we're having a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
You know, and when it's Friday night and my son's in jiu-jitsu and we're going to go to the bar next door and we're going to have a couple beers and enjoy life and chit chat and, you know, hang out with the other parents. I'm not like, yo, listen, I'm on no carbs tonight. Oh, dude, like, I'm going to have the French fries and I'm going to have the slice of pizza. And, you know, next time I get back on my diet, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Be fine.
The world will balance itself out.
It will.
And so will my physique.
Well, listen.
Unless you're me and it goes right to your love handles and it takes a week and a half to work it off again of getting your ass kicked on the mats.
Yeah, that'll happen too. But you know, if you want to go back to being in shape, you tone everything down a little bit.
Yeah,
moderation. Like it's just.
There are nights when I want ice cream because I live right in town. There's nights when I want ice cream. I just walk right to the ice cream store and I go, let me get two scoops, please. Thank you.
Go get it.
Yep.
You know, as they say, the solution to pollution is dilution. So as long as you're kind of diluting that and you're putting your workouts and you're getting, you know, enough movement in between, you're not sitting in a chair all day and you're doing all the other things. Like you're super active, you know, so that's fine.
And I'm definitely under eating.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah, I'm definitely under eating.
Especially with the amount of jujitsu and
like, I'm rolling for mostly 5-6 days a week on top of the weights every morning, 6:15.
I mean, you're seriously burning calories.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then every now and then I just run 5.5 miles for no fucking reason. I just run up to the harbor and I run back.
Yeah, running's not happening.
I love it.
No.
I hated it for a long time. I love it now.
I used to run when I was younger, but now it's.
Oh, I mean, you know.
I got
a lot of muscle in that frame, man.
Yeah,
I can't have that. I can't have all that just impact on your body and your frame.
Yeah, my knees, everything.
All right, last two questions for my man Noah. I appreciate you hanging out with me, chopping it up with Kenji, even though he's been napping. Horrible co-host. So. What would you change about gym culture if you could right now?
I mean, it's the whole social media influence. So I feel like social media, and especially the younger kids and who they're following, is kind of this revenge of the nerds type of thing. And like, if you look at these, I would say the influencers that have a big influence now, they're all kind of like they were nerdy when they're younger, you know, and now it's like, I hit the gym and now I look good. And I'm not even talking about people that like are, you know, super big. They're just like average looking guys that are, they're in kind of decent shape. And these kids follow them like they're gods. And it's because they're following this guy. And I'll say like this Alex Eubanks guy, right? Like he was
I've heard that name. I don't even know who the fuck he is.
He's some like, I don't know, like he's blonde kid, like looked really goofy, nerdy when he was younger, and then like now he's in decent shape. You know, he's in good shape. He's nothing that I would ever aspire to. But these kids, I don't know if they still do, but they were following him like a god, and his life looks like a train wreck. To be honest with you, it looks like a disaster. But like they all talk about him, and now they're on to this next guy, Sam Sulek.
Yeah,
this freaking roided.
Oh, I see
monster.
This. I see this
like,
dude.
But like that's
what this kid looks like. This is not what I thought he was looking like.
Yeah, I don't know. He's to me like it's whatever, Cool. But I don't like that the influence it has on these 14 to 15-year-old kids, and now especially like, and nothing wrong with Sam Sulek. It's not his thing. Like we know he's doing tons of gear.
He's blasting it.
I mean, it's
blasting
insane.
it.
The amount of acne and just weird things that are going on with his body are absolutely terrifying to myself.
At that age too.
At that age, yeah.
Which
It's
is
not. It's
scary.
not that what he's doing is so crazy. It's at the age he's at. He's in big trouble.
Yeah.
Big trouble. So, but that's his choice. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know what you're doing or you don't, and you'll find out, unfortunately.
Me, so I don't. You might be old enough to remember. But do you remember the comedian Carrot Top?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so
yeah, I seen him blast.
exactly
blasting it now.
But Sam Sulek looks exactly like Carrot Top. So
does.
to me, I'm like, why are you kids following Carrot Top? Like Carrot Top on steroids. Like, and well, Carrot Top is actually on steroids.
Yeah, now he is.
Yeah, he's on tons of steroids.
Yoked
Up. He does that like the painless pump shit in his shoulders. Like he's all jacked up.
Oh, he's so creepy looking.
He looks like a spin-off of.
He does.
Yeah.
He does look like a spinoff.
But Sam Sulek is Carrot Top.
It's Carrot Top. Now I'm not going to be able to unsee it.
Yeah, you can't unsee it.
Damn, look at Carrot Top yoked.
Carrot Top's yoked. He is.
Carrot Top is yoked.
It's no
oh
joke,
my
man.
God.
Yeah, but that's Sam Sulek to me. Like every time I see this kid, I'm like, damn, Carrot Top jacked.
Yeah.
So, but that influence is toxic to these.
Well, it's tough because, and one of my biggest issues, and you can attest to this back when the magazines were prevalent.
Yeah.
One of my biggest issues was I used to see these magazine ads and I used to go, wow, if I take that supplement or I take that, I'll look like that. And
Yeah.
it's not the case. And
No.
it's just one continual, just
So it's
revolving lie.
yeah, it's all a lie. Okay. And
Because they'll never say, oh, he's on XYZ. Like these are the,
even if that's the truth, right? So we all know from bodybuilding
Now we
long
do.
enough that you look like that for a couple days. Maybe a month if you're really like grinding, and the rest of the year you don't look like that.
Yeah.
It's like it's unattainable. Can you get there? Sure, for a very short period of time, you can get there. You can maintain a good physique year round, but you're not going to be shredded all year round. And these kids think you are.
oh yeah. They believe that that's the way that you're going to always be.
Or even worse with the girls, it's like they think they're going to look like that filtered picture on Instagram, and then the Photoshop and all this stuff. Like that's not real. It's never been real and never will be real. I remember when it first started happening, when the photoshopping of Instagram got popular, and there was like this huge movement against it. I'm sure you remember Shreds and like their whole culture of just Photoshop everybody.
They had everything in their facility, and they would just shoot everybody, and they'd
Shoot everybody,
pump it out
Photoshop
same
it.
day.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So they're a marketing machine, but they're lying to everybody. You know? And that kind of like that bothers me because
Yeah, it bothers me too.
yeah, it's like
I've
why-
never photoshopped my photos ever. I'm very happy to say that.
know,
I've never photoshopped a photo.
I've done like the shadows and the stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but I
back
would
in the day, I'm talking like way back.
yeah, but I would say that's more unless you're
That's not actual Photoshop.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
I'm not taking in my waist like these girls are now, where it's like the wall is bending. Can you see the wall behind you? That's completely bent.
Yeah.
It's like her waist isn't really that small.
Goob. That was that dude Goob.
Yeah, that dude cracks
calling,
me up.
calling everybody out.
Yeah, he's good for it.
Yeah.
But it's like this is the truth, man. Like these people don't look like this.
Yeah.
They don't. There's guys in great shape. There's girls in great shape. There's all that, but majority of people are not, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But to push that culture on these kids is so
And they're so impressionable at that age.
so impressionable. And this is like whenever you go after kids in any regard, and this goes way beyond fitness, and because this culture is just so fucked up with the way it's treating these kids now, it's like you push anything on kids that's inappropriate, I hate you.
Yeah.
Like I straight up
Facts.
hate you. Yeah.
All right, come here. Leave Noah alone.
Hey. But that's what's going on now, So all these kids have access to Instagram, or I don't watch TikTok. I've seen it a couple times.
I have my largest following is on TikTok. I have 52,000 on there.
I don't.
And and truthfully, come here. Leave Noah alone. He's gonna get allergic to you.
Don't worry, I'll watch.
Kenji. Kenji.
Go sit down.
Come here. Come over here. So I've been posting to TikTok, but through a third-party app, and I'm just letting the videos upload.
yeah.
I haven't opened the app in like a week.
Yeah, I don't. So I went on it a couple times, and it was so toxic.
Yeah.
that
Oh yeah.
I just
Yeah. Unfortunately, when you put yourself out there like this
Yeah.
on a podcast, you get a lot of comments like, "Oh, it's just another dude with a mic," or you just get you don't know what you're talking about, or blah blah blah. You just get the people that are just trying to troll and just be assholes.
yeah. There's
And unfortunately, you just have to delete the comment or delete it from your notifications so you don't see it anymore, or use social media like I use it. You post and you dip, and then you answer a couple of comments here and there every now and then, and that's it.
Yeah, so
But-
that's the best way to do it. Now I get that. I totally see that, and that's what you should do. Post something, move on.
That's what I do. Post and dip. So that's my new saying. I post, I dip.
But the issue is like, if you respond, you get more
fuck them. They're not giving me. They're not making me famous anyway, so I don't even care.
It's just like,
maybe
for my business, I will. I'll post something about the business. I'll respond to people. I'll like posts. Personally, I don't post anything anymore on Instagram, on TikTok. I don't do any personal posts. I'll have my personal account is closed. You cannot get on it. Like it doesn't. My wife, my son. Unless I know you personally, there you go. Just farting all over.
Oh my god.
That'll do it. Oh god.
Oh, sorry. I don't think they're gonna be able to hear because there's noise canceling. But Kenji just ripped.
He ripped. But that's where it is. It's like personally, shut it down.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want people, especially with my son. Like don't say shit.
Oh, people are weird, man. I could only imagine. I have a Kenji, but I can only imagine if I had a kid, how much more defensive I'd be because I'm already defensive. It's weird out there, dude.
I'm very defensive, and I'll snap.
Oh yeah.
Because I call it calm like a bomb. Like I'm a very calm person, but if you light my fuse, I'm gonna explode.
Yeah.
And it happens, and sometimes it's bad. Sometimes, and I regret it sometimes, but certain I don't know, man. Certain buttons you press, and I'm just like, okay. And if it's my family and you press that button, I'm exploding.
Damn! How dare you be a man?
Yeah, right.
How dare you be
toxic masculinity?
How dare you be a real father and a real role model for your family and protect
horrible.
them?
I know.
Just belly up. That's what you need to do.
I should do, right?
Fuck these people.
Give in and belly up.
On the last question, and then I will let you go. Is there something that you would? What is one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you could go back in time?
Really easy for me. Believe in yourself. End of story. Like that's it, man. The worst part of my life is when I stopped believing in myself. And that was due to a lot of factors that had gone on in my life where I felt I wasn't worthy anymore. I was an athlete in college. I went to a very good school. I was successful, and I came out and things just didn't go my way. Again, we talked about my parents being divorced and not having any money and all these things where I had that victimhood mentality for a while. And if I could go back and tell myself anything, I would literally slap myself and be like, look in the fucking mirror and believe in yourself because you can do it. It's 100% I know I can do it. But there was I would say honestly, a 10-year period of my life where I did not believe I could do it. I didn't believe I was worthy of my dreams, of accomplishing my dreams. And that's one of the saddest things that I think has ever happened in my life was that I let myself get so down on myself that I truly didn't believe in myself. And I thought I was, that guy that's just, you're going to go to work and you get stomped on at work and it's okay because you come from a poor family and you come from, a not so great background and people are going to just take advantage of you and that's the way life goes. No, it doesn't. You choose that and you can choose that or you can choose to get above that. And I'm not pissed at myself, but I'm pissed that I allowed that to happen to myself, to allow people to take advantage of me because I had such a lack of confidence in myself that just go to work and get beat up and that's fine. It's not fine. Believe in yourself and that's it. And that goes for everybody. It's just you too, buddy.
Kenji, get away from Noah. Leave him alone.
So it's just.
Come here.
He's good.
Okay.
If I could tell my 22-year-old self would be believe in what you can do because you are more than capable. I try to impart that on everybody and because I truly believe everybody has,
especially your son,
especially my son. And he's going to grow up with all the confidence in the world because I'm beating it into his skull, because there's nothing. I truly believe that he can do anything he wants to do. Of course, listen, he may not be the smartest, he may not be the best athlete, but I believe that he will be able to accomplish anything that he wants to do, and I will never let him stop believing in that.
Goes back to sweat equity, confidence and sweat equity.
Sweat equity. And it also goes back to, and I will say this 100% with what you said is as a father being around, okay? Because my father wasn't around and he didn't build that confidence into me. And I wish he had, but when times got tough, I quit. I gave up. I gave up on myself, and I should have had that beaten into me by my father to be, my man, you're great, you're good, you can do this. I never heard those words, so that allowed me to get into this bad place in my head and live there for a decade. And really, for a decade, I was there of like just Like life just sucks. Deal with it. You're not worth, that $4 million house. You're not worth that BMW. You're not in that class. You don't deserve those things. Fuck that. I deserve it and I can get it if I want it. Now I don't care, but I know I'm worth it.
Yeah.
So that's it. Believe in yourself because you are worth it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Noah.
Pleasure.
That has been an awesome episode, man. You are amazing. You're an amazing human being. I appreciate you taking the time because you're a very busy man. I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me and chop it up, hang out, give a little bit more insight about you as a person, obviously chop up different topics with me.
We talk about a lot.
Yeah, we talk about a lot, man. That's how the podcasts always go.
Yeah.
You never know which direction it's going to go in, but generally, the people that I have on, the caliber of human beings that come through that door, like yourself, are just excellent. So it's always a good time and it's always good conversation in good company. How can people get in touch with you if they want to get training or they want to come down to the gym?
Yeah, definitely. Website, CJ Athletics NY. Of course, Instagram is the same. You could always come down to the place. We're in Mineola, 228 Jericho Turnpike. Definitely come down, check out the gym. It is something worth checking out. I've spent the last 10 years of my life building this place, and I built it the way I love to train.
Top of the line facility, and then you have the baseball on the other side.
Yeah, we got we train. That's one of our main focuses. We train athletes now more than anything, and because that's what gives me the most pleasure, to be honest with you. And that's one of those things I always needed as a young kid was. And again, back to that figure to look up to, somebody to guide these kids, and that's what I enjoy the most. So yeah, we train tons of athletes. Of course, regular gym membership and all that stuff, and centrally located in Mineola. So
Boom.
10 years in now.
Oh, I love that. And another 10 to 20 more.
Absolutely.
Thank you again, Noah. And I appreciate everybody for listening, hanging out with us, chopping it up. I hope y'all learned something. I hope we made you laugh, made you cry in a good way, not in a bad way.
Good way.
But yeah, in a good way. And I hope that we maybe inspired you and made you think a little differently on specific things or how to maybe change your life and decide to adopt certain practices that we spoke about during the episode. As usual, like, share, subscribe, comment, all the stuff that generally most people don't do. But if you can do it, it helps the algorithm. Even if you just want to leave a like, comment, hey, I watched the video, I appreciate it, and it does help out. I appreciate all y'all for fucking with us. But on that note, peace.